Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 404-BAIL-OUT or online at atlbail.com.
Streaming across Georgia on the Extra 1063 app. This is WFOM and W292EV Marietta on Dickey Broadcasting Station. Extra 1063.
A big change for COVID shots. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. The CDC is taking COVID boosters off the list of vaccines recommended for most children.
Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. says COVID vaccines for healthy children and pregnant women are no longer recommended, removing the shots from the CDC's vaccine schedule.
We're now one step closer to realizing President Trump's promise to make America healthy again.
Kennedy announced the changes in a video on X, joined by the FDA commissioner and the director of the National Institutes of Health. A CDC advisory panel is set to meet next month to make recommendations about fall vaccines. Last week, the FDA announced routine COVID vaccine approvals will be limited to seniors and those with underlying health risks.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. Going forward, the FDA commissioner wants clinical trials of COVID shots for healthy children and adults. Escalating tension between President Trump and Russia's leader Vladimir Putin after major aerial strikes on Ukraine over the weekend.
The president is very, very frustrated. He appears closer than ever to pulling the trigger on those harsh sanctions that he has been threatening, increasingly frustrated with Putin's continued attacks on Ukraine and also the stalled state of these peace talks. He posted on Truth Social, what Vladimir Putin doesn't realize is that if it weren't for me, lots of bad things would have already happened to Russia. And I mean really bad. He's playing with fire.
Fox's Jackie Heinrich at the White House. A top Russian security official just posting he only knows of one bad thing, World War III, adding he hopes President Trump understands this. After the president announced a pause on new EU tariffs, stocks have been rallying. An hour to the close, the Dow's up 701. Just getting word, rock legend Rick Derringer has died. The guitarist and songwriter best known for Hang On Sloopy and Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo was 77. America is listening to Fox News.
Born on America's darkest day of 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation has been helping America's heroes ever since. People who put their lives on the line for our country and our communities need your help now more than ever. Join Tunnel to Towers on its mission to do good in their honor. Never forget 9/11 or the sacrifices of this country's heroes and their families. Show your support. Donate $11 a month at T2T.org. That's T2T.org.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Terry's Tiny Homes, Terry! Sure, as the only employee of her company, Terry was probably the front runner, but saving money getting personalized discounts with a commercial auto quote from Progressive, well, that gave Terry the edge. Over Terry.
Terry! Terry!
Keep awkwardly chanting your own name, Terry. You deserve it.
Woo!
Be your own Terry. See if you could save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
That's right. Look out. Here we go. Stand by. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer with Pete Davis, sidekick, producer, and sports raconteur extraordinaire, and the mechanical mangler at the controls. It's floundered. It's not Monday. It's Tuesday, silly rabbit. It just feels like Monday. And by the way, where's the traffic? Bizarre. I mean, it's really strange. Anyway. Well, look, how you doing? We were not here yesterday, and so we're here with you today. So there you go, and we can all tell the difference. Anyway, Kimber, Pete, and Flounder, our number, 404-741-1230, 741-1230. And it's good to have you aboard. We'll talk about Memorial Day weekend and stuff and things and what you did. And all. We got a million... We got to get some chairs. Can we get some chairs in here? Do we have like a client who represents a freaking furniture bar or something?
Don't start all complaining. Just
things change when you change in certain areas. Anyway, no, it's fine. Everything's fine now. Anyway, so we got a billion news stories. I mean, there's a lot of political stuff and newsy stuff, and I mean things to make fun of, like Scott Pelley. Who the hell does he think? That grumpled old. He thinks like he's the wise old owl of the universe or something. What a punk. Anyway, and Jake Tapper, golly, this may have been worse than Watergate, golly. Are you? I mean, God, I hate him. I hate him. I hate him. Oh, mercy. Anyway, we got fun stuff and goofy stuff and weird stuff, and we got Pete's Tweets. We got Holy Crap at Sports. We have sniffing of the magic marker, or what do you call it? Sharpies, the sharpest thing I bring in. And we also have a Get the Kimmer moment of sanity, and also Not the Kimmer's Rainy Day Theater Playhouse, not ready for prime time activity. And Flounders Funnies and Holy Crap at Sports. I mean, just, and a game. We got it all. We got it all. We may need to stay till around 8. I'm just, it could happen. Anyway. 404-741-12. There, okay. Now, who's the guy who just died?
Rick Derringer just died.
Yeah. Now, I know this song. I know. Here we go.
Now, he wasn't a solo act when he does this.
Yeah, who made this famous? So this was like it was a group. McCoys or some real McCoys or something like that. Right, Flounder? Isn't that group?
That is correct.
Real McCoys.
McCoys. Yeah. He was in the McCoys, I guess.
Yeah. And then another one, I don't remember by name. I know I've heard it.
Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo, when he was Rick Derringer, it changed it from Zeringer. But everybody remembers from the 70s, Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo. They played that a lot. Can you find that one?
Yeah. And I think I heard the girl say that he was 77.
Something like that.
And I don't know whether he had a thing or just, that used to be old.
Probably he was riding his chopper and rammed into a wall.
Well, I know I thought about that last night. I can tell you that right now.
Here we go.
Oh, I've heard it. Yeah, I know. Oh, everybody knows this song.
Oh, it's a great song.
I never knew the name of it. I never knew this name. I never knew the name of this song.
Ted Nugent did it later. I think it made it popular as well.
Oh, that's where I know it.
Cheech and Chong borrowed kind of the tune for their little rock and roll thing they did too.
I think that's. But I never knew the name. I'll be damned. And he died 77. And I'm just, at this stage of my life, I'm thinking to myself, I remember when 77 was elderly. And the guy died he was 77. Oh, well.
Yeah, now it's like.
Had a good life. Well, or. Yeah, I might see my kids maybe 2-3 more times. It's possible.
Look at this way. Not a lot of Christmas presents left to buy.
Nothing to worry. No layaways to worry about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, don't put it on layaway.
No long-term anything. Nobody's giving me a loan.
Hey, when you're riding around with Mr. Microphone, you don't say, "Hey, baby, I'll be back to pick you up later."
Get it now, honey. Get in the car.
The time is now.
Yeah, time will last forever. Anyway. So this guy Derringer was 77. And Phil Robertson's dead at 79. Yeah. Duck Dynasty star. Alzheimer's, among other things. His family said he had a blood disorder, mental issues, early onset Alzheimer's. And probably it said here, his son said some mini strokes because of his blood. And I think there was some stroke stuff happening. Anyway, he passed away, he was 79. And I didn't know this. Phil Robertson, the patriarch, played football at Louisiana Tech. He was the starting quarterback, while NFL legend Terry Bradshaw was his backup.
Bradshaw says he was better than him, but he wanted to go hunting. He didn't want to play football anymore.
Wow. What a story. I didn't know that. Robertson founded Duck Commander in 1972. The Duck Dynasty TV show premiered 40 years later, 2012.
I used to watch it. It was funny.
I've seen Bart. I've never actually seen it every week. I've never followed it, but I've seen bits of it. And it was, it was amusing and fun and different and funny. And, it was a life thing. And it was like reality TV of family stuff. And it was one of the early ones in 2012, 13 years ago. A lot of people were doing that. Anyway, passed away at 79. And, rest in peace and happy goodness and all those things. It's a shame. Let's see, 309. Let's go around the road. Pete Davis, Memorial Day weekend. I know you had like 9 things.
Oh, God. Do you want to hear about the listener? You want to hear about the geese? Or do you want to hear about the badminton?
I saw the geese thing. They wouldn't let you in line there.
I'm coming to Del Taco around the corner this morning, and there's literally like 10 geese just sitting there in the drive-thru.
Yeah, it's not.
And I'm sitting there, laughing at it, and then the girl from the Del Taco comes out and says she's laughing. She's trying to usher him out the way. Don't they know that food just runs through you like, through a goose.
There you go.
I guess they'd heard that. Second, I was at the Blue Ridge Arts Festival Saturday.
Oh.
And I was walking around incognito, had the floppy hat on and everything. All of a sudden, this man comes out, touches my arm, and says, "Are you Pete?"
Oh, my.
And I'm thinking, does Pete owe you money? No. I said, yeah. And he goes, big listener. John and Jennifer Ellison.
I'll be damned.
They run Iron Restoration, where they make these little iron sculptures about just about anything you want, like some sports emblems or little statues or stuff like that. Really cool stuff, Iron Restoration. And they had a booth there at the Arts Festival and everything, and I had a nice little chat with
Art people are cool people, They tend to be really unusual.
Talented and artistic. And
obviously,
And it was
cool.
It was a lot of fun talking to John and Jennifer Ellison.
Could they make a statue of Pete and the Kimmer?
For a nominal fee, I'm sure they could.
I wonder if you could take 3 inches off my holster, off my Paladin holster, because I can't get anybody to make it smaller. I've called and gone to every freaking shoe shop that works.
Okay, wait a minute. Where do you get leather work out of this? It's iron. It's sculpture. It's iron restoration.
No,
Where did you get it?
I'm trying to find an artiste type person who does that kind of thing, and I can't. That's hard.
Oh, and I also tried to blow my hamstring out playing I hadn't played badminton in 30 years, and it's so much fun. But then you get into it.
Shuttlecock. When can you say that in public very often?
And you know what? You used to be able to hit it and slam it no matter what. Now you swing and you miss it, and you go, "What happened?" Why can't I?
Well, and that little feathery thing, it's just floating there, and it dives, so all of a sudden it takes a wind thing.
Goes right by. And we did archery. I haven't shot an arrow in decades.
God, I haven't done that either. I used to have a bow and arrow set.
And we were shooting in the backyard, and I hit the target in the third try. Then I quit.
God, we used to take our bows and arrows into the woods and play, and shoot them into trees and break the arrows because they weren't made to go into the trees back then. Mm-hmm. As a kid, but still, our parents said, "Okay, be careful." Off you go with your bow and arrows. My God,
BB guns.
Yeah, absolute pellet guns. No problem. See you later, Mom. Whistle for dinner.
Lawn darts.
Seriously.
Catch.
My God. Anyway, and Flounder, Memorial Day weekend with Mrs. Veronica.
Saturday, we went up to Lake Hartwell for the evening and hung out there on the lake and had that. And then yesterday, we barbecued over at my brother's pool for the afternoon.
Excellent. Very nice.
So it was a nice weekend outdoors.
Nice day yesterday, not yet, Sunday for cookouts.
Yes.
Had a lovely cookout at Dave and Lawrence. They were wonderful hosts.
Oh, excellent. Fantastic. Anyway, if you have a story to tell us about Memorial Day, we'd love to hear your comments and calls and so forth. They're just for the fun of it. And in fact, you know what? I still kind of feeling Memorial Day. I had a rather unusual personal memory popped up. And I got to tell my kids something about this the actual Memorial Day in 1968. And I said, it was kind of a funny thing that came up, but oh God, sorry. No, okay, it's all good. Okay, let me do this. Where the hell was I? Got it. Oh, here we go. On Memorial Day, a lot of things popped up on my phone, and I looked at a few things of folks who may not know had a special link to Memorial Day from years past, including celebrities and former old actors and stars from the past, like James Whitmore. James Whitmore is the guy who played Brooks. Brooks was here in Shawshank Redemption. Yeah. James Whitmore, in fact, I've got a whole bunch of...
Great actor.
He's been in a million different things. He... oh, God, no.
All My Sons, the great play. He was in that.
Yeah. Oh, crap. I hate when I do this. I wrote all these things down, and now I can't find some. Anyway, he was... he fought alongside Lee Marvin. James Whitmore received a Purple Heart, shrapnel to his face in Saipan. Obviously in the Shawshank Redemption, and he's a Semper Fi Marine Corps hero. How about Gene Roddenberry, Star Trek creator? Gene Roddenberry flew 89 combat missions. How about one more of his crew? Scotty from Star Trek, James Doohan.
World War II.
World War II, one of the first wave to hit Juno Beach in the D-Day invasion. James Doohan, Scotty from Star Trek, was hit 6 times, lost a finger. He later would become a pilot and see action with the Royal Canadian Air Force.
Yeah, I was thinking Juneau was a Canadian beach.
Yeah.
Sword and Juneau were the British.
Yeah, James
Gold
Stewart and Scotty from Star Trek. Just a few of the people you may know who had a kind of link.
Jimmy Stewart.
I know what I'll tell you. This is kind of stupid. Do I have 30 seconds for this, Flounder? I'm late for a break. Again, I listened to the morning show all day, and again, it was a very touching story about Lois, the smart one, this morning, who found out. We mentioned Chris Mortensen helped him get the information. Lois found out he didn't know. He knew his uncle died in Vietnam. He was named after his uncle who didn't come back from Vietnam. Lois was Carlos, and the family didn't know much. They thought he was shot sitting on a tank having lunch and got hit by a sniper. It turns out there was a different guy with the same name. What happened to Carlos's uncle? And I'm sorry telling his story, but was that he was actually a hero who died and was awarded for it. Who died. Taken on enemy fire to save his troops in Vietnam. And so, and the reason I'm mentioning this is because Carlos said when people say Happy Memorial Day, and of course the joke is it's not a Happy Memorial Day. I mean, that's a ridiculous thing. But he said to his family, it is happy because now they have a whole different feeling and stuff about what happened to their uncle, and it's a whole. And they're happy now that they finally, you know what? In other words, it's a happy feeling. And I thought to myself, it flooded me. This happened yesterday. Flooded me with a memory of something that happened to me literally on Memorial Day in 1968, and I was lucky, and others were not. And so, and I texted my kids because this came out of nowhere. I had thought about this in 57 or whatever years, and I said I was so lucky on Memorial Day in 1968 that I got to come home and you, my wife, gave birth to two wonderful kids. And so actually Memorial Day, under very unusual circumstances, is a very happy for me to celebrate. Oh my God, how come I was so lucky? And it's a happy experience that I came home to my wife who gave birth to two wonderful kids. And it was just, everything's upside. It's been the strangest year, I tell you. Anyway, Memorial Day. And wait to hear what they think about it in Chicago. Coming up, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 316. Happy Tuesday. I'd love to have you join us if you feel like it. Look out, here we go.
Extra 106.3 is Atlanta's home for NASCAR, and we have live races every weekend from across the country. Check out extra1063.com for the full schedule and join us this weekend for live NASCAR action.
The warm air, the beautiful weather, and the sounds of baseball. It's got you thinking about hitting the road. And no matter where your adventures take you, Subaru of Gwinnett has a vehicle to get you there safely and in style. Like the 2025 Subaru Outback, which will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive plus up to 32 miles per gallon. And if you're up for adventure, it'll get you off the beaten path with up to 9.5 inches of ground clearance. More than the Honda CR-V or Toyota RAV4 or the 2025 Subaru Forester, the SUV for all you love. It's the right-sized SUV for all the adventures ahead with a spacious and comfortable interior for everyone you want to bring along. And no matter where adventure takes you, it starts on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth with the amazing staff at Subaru of Gwinnett. They'll help you find the Subaru that you'll love and be there every step of the way for everything you need. Start your shopping online at SubaruofGwinnett.com.
Kevin McAlpin here, alongside Evan Ward, host of North Georgia's Retirement Game Plan, heard right here on Extra 106.3. And Evan, one of the most common questions financial advisors get is, can I retire now? Obviously, this can apply to folks who want to retire early or those who are 65 or older just wanting to know if they've done enough saving over the years. So when a client calls, when they stop by your office, how can you help them determine if they are able to finally retire?
That is the number one question that we get the first time somebody comes in our office. How do I even know whether I've got enough to get where I need to be? And I think my industry does an awful job of giving you at least the right facts to be able to make that decision. How do I know? Now, the actual creation of an income plan that can take the stresses and the risks and reduce any kind of concerns that you have in retirement, that can get pretty complex. That's why you have a person like me on your team. But the actual knowing whether you have enough to be able to retire is a pretty simple formula that we'd love to share and be able to show clients, hey, you're in a good spot, or no, you're not in a good spot, but if we do these things, we can get back on track and retire ahead of schedule or on your schedule that you want. And that's what we focus on. That's our primary concern when somebody walks in our office.
If you are wondering if you can retire, well, that's why you got to pick up the phone and call Evan and the team at Atlas Retirement today. They're going to give you a complimentary review of your savings and investments. That number is 678-736-7799. 678-736-7799. Or get more details anytime online. It's atlasretirement.net. That's atlasretirement.net. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor.
Special Olympics Georgia is teaming up with Dunkin' Donuts for Cops on Donut Shops on June 6th from 6 to 10 a.m. Join us for the torch run and then some treats with our heroes on the streets. Together, we'll help raise money and awareness for Special Olympics Georgia athletes. Drive through and donate at participating Dunkin' Donuts June 6th or at specialolympicsga.org.
Kind of a sad song here for good reason, actually. Riley.
Crossroads seem to come and go.
2017, founding member of the Allman Brothers Band, Greg Allman, died at 69 in Savannah. Greg Allman suffered a recurrence of liver cancer 5 years earlier and died from complications. The band's main songwriter early on, Allman contributed compositions like Dreams and Whipping Post. Both songs, staples of their live shows. A cathartic 22-minute version of Whipping Post was a highlight of their acclaimed 1971 live album at Fillmore East.
I just read some over the weekend that they had signed a contract to do Columbia High School in Decatur. And that album came out, and it was a big hit, but they honored the contract and showed up and played the auditorium at Columbia.
Southern bands, baby. You know, they knew where they came from. These guys played in garages.
Mm-hmm. Of course, it was Columbia, and we all hate Columbia High School.
Still, sure. You know,
as
you
a Southwest DeKalb people, you know, as a real school, Southwest DeKalb.
Those scoundrels, you know. 322.
We used to drive over there and watch the race riots.
Well, you got to have something to do with Saturday and take your girl out in the car, you know. Let's go watch the race riots. To the phone, Scotty the window guy. What's up, man? How you doing? What's happening?
Hey, Semper Fi. Welcome home, my friend. Thank you for your service.
There you go. What's happening, man?
Shout out to YouTube Mafia.
All right, sir.
I just want to share yesterday. A lot of people don't understand that Memorial Day is not a happy day to celebrate. It's a day of mourning for the ones that signed that check and cashed it in. But I was up at Georgia National Memorial yesterday to go see my pops and my mother, and I just decided to do something out of the blue. So I brought you've been up there, you know how big Georgia National is, right?
Yeah
There's about 30 sections up there of lost loved ones, but I went to every section yesterday and played taps, and you would not believe the response of the people coming up to me. Some soldiers up there that were, when they heard that start playing, they saluted the grave that they were standing in front of. And, man, it was actually just quite special. And I got such a great reaction. There had to have been 250, 300 people up there when I was there yesterday. I mean, it's a beautiful place.
Outstanding. Yep. It's a special place indeed. I remember the last time I was up there with a Patriot Guard, if I'm not mistaken. Doing some
Skip Wells?
That too. I did. In fact, I went to that funeral service and got to hug his mom, and kind of broke down as I did it. And I will never forget that moment. I'm seeing her laying there, and I thought, oh my God, But I got to hug his mom, and so there you go. Anyway, Scotty, thanks, man. You did a good thing. That's an important thing. And by the way, in my neighborhood, I have a new deck built. I rent the place. The owner had put a brand new deck on there, so I haven't gotten a big flagpole to tear up the new wood. But I have two little flags that are just the right size that I can keep up 24 hours a day. Rain, snow, doesn't make whatever. They're staying out there, and I have planters to keep those two little flags in there because they're 24 hours a day, which I love doing because they're always in. I stick them right out so you can see right through the gate and everybody sees them. There's only one other flag in my entire complex for Memorial Day weekend. One.
Well, if this wind comes through, there ain't going to be any left. Joanne Feldman of Fox 5 says there's a tornado warning now for northwestern Fayette County and Caida County until 3:45.
That's what, southeast of us right here now?
Yeah, southwest of us, I believe. That's below Atlanta, South Fulton, coming up on that. So Peachtree City, Noonan, Fayetteville, Tyrone, which is where John and Jennifer Ellison live. John, I hope y'all are hunkering down there.
And it's a warning, which means there is a tornado.
Or they think it is. Yeah, she put it out at 3:10. It's 3:25, so it's going on for at least 20 more minutes down there. So
that can't be good there. Let's see, golly. Well, okay, Kimmer P. and Flounder, 325. All right, everything's fine. Our birthday list includes, in fact, I'm kind of surprised at this. Again, I do a birthday list, and Flounder looks up one in History Thing, too, to give to me. On this day, and this is what Flounder says, Lee Merriweather, she's 90 years old. Lee Merriweather, one of the three Catwomen to Adam West's Batman. She was only in the movie version of the old school TV show. On the actual series, it was Julie Newmar and Eartha Kitt. But it doesn't even mention Lee Merriweather was Miss America 1955, and she was famous for Barnaby Jones.
Yep.
It didn't even mention that.
Wow.
And that's how everybody knows her, and she was Miss America. Well, she's 90.
The Batman thing was pretty big.
Yeah, that's true. But again, 90-year-old Lee Merriweather, good for her. And I have a history thing that I thought was fairly interesting. In fact, I wonder, hold on a second, I'm wondering whether I'm thinking of also something else. I'm going to update it with you at the end. Marilyn Monroe, on this day in 1949, was 22 and unemployed. Marilyn Monroe was offered $50 to pose for a Los Angeles photographer against a red velvet backdrop without any clothes on. Probably the most famous calendar photo in history, the principal attraction in the first issue of Playboy, and it risked ruining her budding career. Marilyn Monroe never got more than the $50 for that famous picture. She told the photographer, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to pose nude. And then one day she was broke. She called him and said, okay, I'll do it. I was desperate. What else could I do? She said two things. Don't tell anyone I did it. You can take the pictures in a way to make me unrecognizable, and the only person you can ever know beside yourself is your wife, who was his assistant in the studio. In case she signed a model release giving up all rights to the photograph with a fictitious name, Mona Monroe. You could see her face recognizable, but she wasn't famous. It was years later, 20th Century Fox had to groom her for stardom, and then a Chicago publisher put that photo on a calendar, and her bosses went, oh, my God. The studio wanted her to deny the image. Instead, Marilyn Monroe went public and said, I did it. She and the studio feared it would burnish her image as a sex symbol. Hugh Hefner remembered the photo and bought it from the calendar publisher for $500. It ran in the debut issue of his magazine in 1953. More fully dressed Monroe on the cover. It was a sellout. And Marilyn Monroe got $50. Oh, and by the way, I either read this somewhere or heard it. I think I read it somewhere, and I don't know why I haven't written it down here. One time, and I hope I didn't talk about this last week, and my mind is not working properly. Marilyn Monroe met Einstein. And Einstein, they were making a joke about having a baby together. And there was a joke, something like, well, would it be as brilliant as Einstein or as beautiful as Marilyn Monroe? And he said, well, it'd probably be as smart as Marilyn. And they were joking. Marilyn Monroe had an IQ above 160.
She wasn't stupid.
Marilyn Monroe had an IQ higher than Albert Einstein.
It shows you what IQ is. Yeah.
True, but still, I mean, she had an above 160. A genius is 140. Mensa is 132 and above.
You know, I've never, ever, if I've taken a test, I never found out what it was, or they never told me.
Well, most of them don't. In fact, there's a way to compute it. I found out in the Marine Corps, test results. And one other that came out a little different because it was a different thing.
It couldn't have been too high. They wouldn't let you in.
Well, good point.
Bullet blocker.
It was ink smudge. 329, Kimmer Pete and Flounder. Anyway, so there's your history thing. And I got one flag in my neighborhood, and one stinking flag for the whole weekend, the whole time.
I didn't put mine out either because no one can see where I am, but still.
Well, I mean, but still, I mean, in a neighborhood, I mean, what happened?
My neighborhood had a good bit of flags. Veronica put a bunch over our front yard, but our neighbors had little flags by the mailbox and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
anyway, it's modern life. Anyways,
it's Africa Day. It's not.
In fact, we're going to play that next. Wait to hear that. I mean, this is unbelievable.
I was going to send that to you Friday night.
Astounding.
And I was like, nope,
shoot,
I'm not going to do it.
Wait till Tuesday to piss them off.
It's all coming up. 3:30, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder.
It just shows Democrats hate America.
That's right. They can't stop. They can't stop. More and more proof coming up. Kimmer, Pete, Flounder. Look out, here we go. Tuesday. Look out.
Start your day with Tug and Los on the Morning Extra from 6 to 10. Then it's Glenn Beck, Clay and Buck at noon, and the Kimmer Show on your ride home from 3 to 6. And hang out every night for Jesse Kelly at 6 and Jimmy Fela at 9. And stream it all live in crystal clear HD on the Extra 106.3 app.
Mark your calendars because summer is here and it's time to slide into summer at Truist Park as the Boston Red Sox and Arizona Diamondbacks come to town May 30th through June 5th. Fans can enjoy 3 amazing gate giveaways during the homestand. First up is Sunday, June 1st, when the first 3,000 kids will receive a pool float, the perfect giveaway to use this summer. And then back-to-back giveaways June 4th and 5th featuring the Truist Park Stadium replica and the beach tote bag presented by Visit Sarasota.
Braves win as the rookie walked it off in 11 innings.
And May and the A deals were so great, they're extended to June 3rd through the 5th. That means $10 tickets, $1.99 hot dogs, $3.99 Miller High Life, and select parking is just $10. You can't beat great baseball and deals like this. Head to Braves.com/slide into summer to get your tickets today and check out all the summer fun. Atlanta Braves baseball. We are Braves country.
Hey, it's Front Office Lowe's here to tell you about a new company that is changing the way people buy their next pre-owned car or truck. At The Honest Car Guy, they offer a completely transparent way to purchase a vehicle. You pay what he pays, plus a small honest fee. You can choose any make or model. He will search the country for the best deal out there. He'll handle the paperwork, your trade-in, shipping, and even give you the bill of sale. Friends, I've done the research, and this is a buying process that you can trust. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1 or visit online at honestcarguy.com.
A golf instructor who knows technique can improve an aspiring pro's swing. But one who really cares can help transform a career.
There he is, your new champion.
When you team up with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. At Truist, we believe the same is true for banking. Truist, leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Truist Bank, member FDIC, leading based on top 10 U.S. commercial bank.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's Pete, and here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
The art of journalism, you present facts in an objective and unbiased way so that people will have no idea how you personally feel about the subject. Now, look at journalism today. Donald Trump is deporting 2-year-olds. A blatant lie. He's a threat to democracy. On and on. May I remind you, please, or tell you if you didn't already know, that among the people out there who call themselves journalists, the reporters, the producers, the editors, over 90% of them, probably around 95 or 96% of them, voted for Kamala Harris. And they always vote Democrat.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
Sorry. Had my Tootsie Roll pop going full strong there. Hey, it's Tuesday. Feels like Monday. Give me a break. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. How you doing? 3:34. What the hell is this, Flounder? Play this a little loud.
This is the White Stripes with Jack White.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I know. I see the name, but I'd forgotten it was White Stripes was his group. Because he was with the Yeah Yeah Yeahs at the time.
No, that's another band. That's a completely separate band.
Well, yeah, obviously, but it's pretty funny. On this day in 2013, there's a report. Again, this is 12 years ago. A report came out saying how musicians were very upset with fans at their concerts filming their shows on their smartphones. Again, this was all brand new 12 years ago. And it says here, Jack White and the Yeah Yeah Yeahs had put up signs. Oh, I'm sorry. It says Jack White and the Yeah Yeah Yeahs had both put up signs at their concerts asking people to leave their mobiles in their pockets. It did mention the Great White thing. That's why it confused me. Anyway, 2013, mobile phones.
A lot of bands do that now, like Tool, this band Tool. When you go in there, if they see you filming the show, they will kick you out.
Yeah, I can't say I blame them.
And the Grateful Dead didn't care a bit.
Yeah, well, that's what made him.
Well, no, I think it's more. I don't think it's about the taping. I think it's just about the show, and you're not concentrating on the actual show versus just filming it, so you can put it on your social media.
Yeah, that's right. Well, but again, that's what life is. And
because they use their phone. Like, remember at concerts when you used to put a lighter up in the air?
Yeah, right.
They use the flashlight on the phone.
Yeah. But the Braves games when the reliever comes in,
right.
Which is one of the coolest things in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, I do. I do like that.
That's cool. And by the way, quit stealing Clay Travis's lines.
Yeah. Now, wait a minute. That's like 9 times now. It's like he's...
That guy's ripped you off at least 3 or 4 times.
It's almost every day I hear somebody, oh, you think it was the wife behind it? You think it was Biden's wife, really? You came to that conclusion, did you?
So he's monitoring your show.
So in other words, his cell phone is yesterday's cigarettes. Is that what you're telling me? Golly.
It's kind of like the Great American.
Well, no, it's kind of like
yeah. Let's not get into that.
It's like somebody else invented the news monster. I don't know. I guess it probably wasn't me. I guess somebody else took credit for it. And I say, no, it's good. It's good. Everything's fine. and now we continue with our actual program. Honestly, I just seriously, what's the matter? What?
It's time.
Oh my God. Well, I'm going to put this away. Hold everything, Flounder. Hold on a second.
I will be the father.
Me. Oh, yeah, we didn't decide who was who. Sorry.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Me.
And now, another edition of Not the Kimmers, not ready for primetime rainy day short attention fan theater playhouse, where we, by golly, try to bring a teeny bit of happiness and sunshine into the otherwise miserable lives of you, the little people. Today's episode, I dare ya. And now we bring you a touching tale of a father and a daughter bonding over the great American tradition and sport of baseball. We take you to a typical American household and a typical American den. A daddy and his teenage daughter are deciding what to watch on the telly.
You want to watch the baseball game with me?
No, I don't like baseball.
Well, I didn't like Little Mermaid either, but I watched it 1,387 times. Now get the lights.
And see. Golly, it's almost like a real thing. I just bringing up the memories of raising a daughter with Pete Davis. It's an incredible testimonial to the lifestyle of American families and the modern. Golly, just enjoying the fruits of their labors together with sports time activities. Another edition of the Not the Kimmers Rainy Day Theater.
Memories.
Short attention span Rainy Day Theater Playhouse. Oh, my goodness. Wow, that was, it's, daddy's daughters is kind of emotional, I got to tell you. And by the way, it's all the cliches about kids and their parents are true. My daughter Jennifer and I are both emotional train wrecks, okay? We are both absolutely freaking losers in life, okay? My daughter Sarah and her mother are freaking peas in a pod.
Yeah.
They are, it's unbelievable. It's really true. Emotionally, mannerisms, it's really unbelievable. Anyway, daddies and daughters. Thank God I didn't have sons. Anyway, not that I, what is it? I'm probably lucky. Anyway, okay, I shut up. 339. Let's do the idiot and share. We're going to play some sound bites here, Flounder. 339, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. And our number, 404-741-1230, 1230. But we'd love for you to join us if you had something to talk about Memorial Day weekend or what you thought and any comments or whatever, or something else. A lot of politics stuff, we'll get to all of it. For example, you may have thought it was, cut number 1 here, Flounder. You may have thought it was Memorial Day, and you thought your prayers and emotions for America's war dead maybe were for Memorial Day weekend itself. Not according to the mayor of Chicago. Number 1, sir. Actual mayor soundbite.
Hello, I am Mayor Brandon Johnson, and I am proud to join you in recognizing and celebrating Africa Day.
Excuse me?
The continent of Africa
hold it.
is made up of 1.2 billion people with diverse countries,
is that the same as
rich traditions, cultures,
Dead
and
Memorial?
heritage. The African diaspora can be found in cities and countries around the globe.
Excuse me, sir.
And right here in Chicago,
Hold on.
our proud African communities have made indelible
Memorial
contributions to the growth and fabric of our amazing city.
Yeah, I was wondering if
you could, this Africa Day,
sir,
let us take a moment to celebrate the achievements of Africa Day. Progress made by
Some reaction. Brother, your city looks more like Mogadishu with better Wi-Fi. Chicago's crumbling. Kids can't read. Cops are quitting. This dude's handing out continental greetings on Memorial Day. I wish leftists cared as much about homeless veterans as they do about illegal immigrants.
Yep.
It's a slap in the face to everything honoring warriors who gave everything for America.
Black Americans.
Exactly. President Trump's Memorial Day centers on our heroes and sacrifice, not political distractions. Does he not realize this is not Africa? Maybe you should go relocate. Democrats, they have no soul.
They hate America. They prove it day in, day out.
Democrats continue to double down on didn't earn it, protecting illegals, criminals, and weaponizing the system, or political justice. Republicans let them get away with it. The Chicago mayor, another big Marxist racist, and no one will do a damn thing about it. He had to divert attention to the fact no one's going to celebrate the holiday in downtown Chicago because they don't feel safe. It's sad people of races that live in the suburbs can't go into the city anymore. On and on and on. The nerve of this guy. Just
the tone deafness. I'm going to do that on Memorial Day.
Again, he must have thought he was doing all of us a favor.
So on Juneteenth, what are we going to do? We're going to celebrate Christmas? What are we going to celebrate?
Yeah.
Robert E. Lee Day? Come on.
In fact, here we go. We're going to play a bunch of these.
Stonewall.
When you hear these comments and hear us talking about them, please remember that these people are real. They do these things, say these things out loud, and believe these things. Let's do cut number 3 here, Flounder. This is Scott Pelley. Honest opinion, I don't know if I've ever seen a bigger D-bag in my life than this stuffed shirt full of nothing but hot air. He looks like he thinks he's so wise, the owl of the forest, who's telling everybody what's important for us to believe about life. Scott Pelley, the 60 Minutes anchor, did an unhinged speech concerning Donald Trump while he was at Wake Forest University for their graduating class, talking about fear infiltrating America. Cut number 3, Flounder. Scott Pelley. Check this out.
But in this moment,
this
morning, our sacred rule of law is under attack.
Really?
Journalism is under attack. Universities are under attack. Freedom of speech is under attack.
No, it's not.
And insidious fear is reaching through our schools, our businesses, our homes, and into our private thoughts. The fear to speak in America.
Oh, stop. You're making me throw up.
Rewrite history.
Wet my pants.
With grotesque, false narratives. They can make criminals heroes and heroes criminals.
No, that was 60
Power
minutes.
can change the definition of the words we use to describe reality. Diversity is now described as illegal. Equity is to be shunned. Inclusion is a dirty word.
He's objective?
Yeah.
This is an old playbook, my friends.
Oh, my friends.
There's nothing new in this.
Yeah. Scattered applause, ridiculed and baffled by his dramatic gestures and his dread-filled rhetoric. Scott Pelley raged at Trump in an angry, unhinged commencement address. He speaks openly and freely in America, complaining about that he can't. This self-important sermonizing propagandist passing for a legacy media journalist. He's a national disgrace. Juanita Broderick said when he was an Arkansas attorney general, chimed in calling him a pompous piece of crap. He's a hypocrite. His network facing a $20 billion lawsuit by Donald Trump. I mean, this is unbelievable. The nerve of these. I mean, the pretentious, just soulless ridicule.
To say the people are afraid to speak their mind, like the scientists and the doctors that spoke out that this COVID shot was worthless, and they were told to shut up on Facebook. Yeah. The Biden White House told the FBI to go after them and stop them on social media. You couldn't say anything. They were fired. All these people that were scared to speak their mind. Is that what he was talking about?
Yeah, that's from the left. That's all because of what happened by the Democrats. Remember, a lot of those guys were professors at prestigious universities who got censored.
Yeah,
and kicked out, fired. One after another.
How many people died because they could not get those drugs, ivermectin or hydroxychloroquine, that were found out later that did work?
Yeah, they got ridiculed
and fired over it, and people died over
tranquilizers.
That.
They were,
and we all know this is what they do on the left. We all know it's the left that always changes the meaning of words. Go read George Orwell's 1984. Yeah. That's their playbook. Yeah. They change the meaning of words.
Yeah. Well, there's more coming up on this. In fact,
they're not liberal anymore. They're progressive.
Yeah, Well, we'll see. And in fact, and now, finally, they're starting to see the light, but they're still denying how bad the country was in, what shape we were in for the last 4 years, and still they're nibbling at the fact that they're a bunch of scumbag traitor communists, but they aren't quite ready to swallow the bait yet. Now we're going to shove it down their throat. Jake Tapper's next. Kimmer, Pete, and Flan is quarter. It's 3:46 already. Hold it.
Illegal border crossings are down 87%, and Army recruitment hits a 15-year high. So tell us again what's wrong with America? Yeah, exactly. Get it right with Atlanta's only conservative voice, Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Its intelligent technology is intuitive. Its responsive performance, responsible. Turbo power with a hybrid assist, a digital yet sensual cockpit, and sporty elegance helps make the C-Class a driver's delight and paradise for passengers. Get an exceptional offer on the 2025 Mercedes-Benz C300 sedan, just $499 per month for 36 months with $5,043 due at signing, exclusively from RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this vehicle and many other models during the Mercedes-Benz Dream Days sales event. Visit today to see how to qualify. Special lease rate available only to qualified customers exclusively from Mercedes-Benz Financial Service through RBM of Atlanta, Sandy Springs through May 31st, 2025. Excludes tax, tag, title, and Georgia Lemon Law fees. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this and other exciting offers. Visit us at rbmofatlanta.com or call us at 770-390-0700 for details.
Braves baseball is always on the Fan and streaming on the Fan app.
Bounce up the middle, might get through. It does! Rattle around third. Here comes the throw. It's late. Braves win!
The Fan streams every single Braves game all season totally free on the 680 The Fan app, on your smart speaker, and online at 680thefan.com. So don't miss a pitch.
You come with the Kings, you better not miss.
Grab the all-new Fan app now for Apple or Android.
Are you living with dry AMD? If so, you could be on the road to geographic atrophy, or GA, a condition that leads to retinal cell death and permanent vision loss. But with iZurvey, you can
slow it down. get it going slower.
Izervay slows GA progression by targeting a key source of retinal cell death, which may help preserve your vision longer. Izervay, or Avastin Captid Pagal, is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Oh, yeah, sorry. We're kind of involved. There's something on the internet. Pete found a way to have me stop getting dizzy when I stand up fast. That's apparently. And they're in a commercial now, I guess. So anyway, we'll keep you. If we find something, we'll keep you posted. First of all, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, how's it going? This is AC/DC, and dozens of their fans needed treatment after they complained of burning eyes during a concert on the runway of Wels Airport in Austria on this day in 2010. AC/DC fans, burning eyes, 150 had to be treated. Doctors found that the fans were showing allergic reactions to bark mulch spread at the venue. It was the runway of the Wels Airport to avoid the soil getting too muddy after hours of rain. Mm-hmm. And the mulch apparently was making them, well, mulch is stinky. Mulch is serious weed stuff. Good for you. I mean, good for the plants and things. But anyway, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, how's it going? Our birthday list includes Joseph. Is it Fiends, Fines, Fins?
Rafe. Joseph.
Ralph. How do you pronounce Ralph Fiennes?
Ralph Fiennes. Well, Rafe Fiennes.
Rafe Fiennes, his brother is Joseph Fiennes. Joseph Fiennes is 55. He was the Fiennes in Shakespeare in Love and Enemy at the Gates. Yeah. Both of which were interesting. Oh, in fact, you know what? Shakespeare in Love, I thought this was fairly amusing. I saw it when it was originally out. It had to be 20 years ago, probably. And I thought this was fairly amusing. You'll appreciate this as an author. Well, it was Shakespearean play. Okay. And so at one point, Joseph Fiennes, Joseph Fiennes was with two other characters, a guy and the girl, Gwyneth Paltrow. She was this girl star. And some guy was talking to Gwyneth Paltrow, and the guy was saying he was excited and anxious and stuff, and they were going to put on a program, but something was happening, and there was all kinds of problems, and so the guy said to Gwyneth Paltrow. So the third voice you'll hear of me is Joseph Fiennes. Okay, so here's goes. So the actor number one is talking to Gwyneth Paltrow, and he goes, well, you know, the show must. And Joseph says, go on. Okay. The show must go on, but it was like, the show must, but he says, go on. Tell the rest, go on. Which is a rather bizarre way of having the show must go on from Shakespeare.
That's the best line in the movie?
That's the best line in the movie. That's what I remembered. Yeah. And she was, all and
made her a star.
Made her a star with her little trampiness. Sorry. No, I'm sorry. I always wanted, I just want to grab her by the hair.
I just never found her that she's not ugly, but
no, she's attractive, but she's too smarmy and she does that thing for her vaginal.
Yeah, she sells candles that smell like her.
She's too skinny. She's like a toothpick.
She's not.
No body frame.
She's not good. She's not good. But she was in that movie with Michael Douglas where she cheated on him and then he wanted to kill her and instead she killed the bad guy.
Huh?
It was an old movie, a new version of an old movie.
Yeah, I have no. She was an Iron Man. I know that.
With Ray Milland. Ray Milland and his wife.
Lost Weekend?
No, that was a drunk.
No, I think you got the wrong thing. You got the wrong movie.
Okay. Somebody will call us. 352. The movie where
Double Indemnity.
Yes,
it's a Body Heat.
Yeah.
No, that was Kathleen.
No, not Body Heat. Double Indemnity.
Turner.
No,
Double Indemnity was Fred McMurray and Barbara Stanwyck.
Okay,
and they made it into Body Heat with William Hurt and Kathleen Turner.
Okay, well, that's a whole different movie. Yeah. I'm talking about the one where she's cheating on her husband with an artist, and so Michael Douglas wants to have the artist killed, and so he arranges for him to come in and then have him killed, but Gwyneth Paltrow instead kills kills the guy, the murderer.
You're not thinking of Diane Lane?
Perfect murder.
The Perfect Murder.
A perfect murder.
Because that sounds like the Richard Gere, Diane Lane movie.
It's a remake. It might be. It's a remake of an earlier movie, but it's a perfect murder with Michael Douglas and Gwyneth Paltrow.
I missed that one.
Viggo Mortensen.
And Viggo Mortensen. Viggo Mortensen. That's why I remembered it. Yeah. The Perfect Murder. Well, thank you, Flounder. There you go.
King.
That's it today.
Good night, everybody. And now, did we do Jake? Let's play Jake Tapper. But this is amazing to me. This is freaking amazing. Cut number 2 here, Flounder. Jake Tapper is now, he's saying, well, gee golly, this whole, what we did to cover up Joe Biden for the last 4 years might even be as bad as, it might be worse than maybe. Let's see it. Cut number 2.
It is without question, and maybe even worse than Watergate in some ways.
Right.
Because Richard Nixon was in control of his faculties when he wasn't drinking.
Oh, please. What a scumbag.
He was drinking a lot.
Okay. The point of the matter is the Richard Nixon scandal of Watergate was a cover-up, using the government to cover up a burglary of Democratic notes in the Watergate Hotel office building. Okay, and they had, they tried to cover up to make sure that they weren't investigating it properly, stuff like that. That's one thing. This was changing an administration working for the government for 4 years and trying to cover up his incompetence for another 4 years. They were willing to have that same guy do it again.
For power.
And they hid it and lied about it, and all of them did. This is 1,000,000 times worse than Watergate will ever be in history. This is the worst scandal. Again, they did more than just lying about a burglary in an office building for political reasons. This was changing the government, changing the world. They lied about everything, and they covered it up. They politicized the entire Department of Justice, the FBI. I don't know how many years it's going to take to get that back to normal, where they're cops again.
They were hiding who was going to be running the country for another 4 years, just so they could keep power for their party.
Right. He was not running meetings. His wife was running the meetings. They were covering up his medical issues. They were covering up his cognitive decline. They were covering up everything. They were hiding from the American people every day for 4 years. They hid it in the election. They kept him in the basement. They said, we have COVID. We can't come out and talk to the press. We have to, take our press releases, and they got away with it.
And supposedly the smartest people in the Beltway, the journalists, all were dumbfounded and couldn't believe they were misled, but we could sit on our sofas at home and see it.
Well, Jake says, golly, it's an entirely separate scandal from Watergate. It might even be worse. Might be worse. You freaking idiot. He said, I think some of the criticism of the cover-up is fair, to be honest. I look back at my coverage, and I did cover these issues, but I look back on it with humility. I probably didn't do it enough. You dirty, stinking, lying, commie, traitor bastard. Honest to God, these people
are be fired. They're incompetent.
Cowards.
And you're right. They knew. I think most of them did know, but they were afraid to stick their head above the herd and all of them looking. Are you trying to help Trump?
Cowards.
Are you trying to get Trump back in power? That's what's going to happen. You can't do that.
And anytime anybody like Bill Maher or
look what happened to George Clooney. George Clooney was the first one to come out, the New York Times editorial saying, the emperor has no clothes, and he's still being vilified by Democrats for doing that. And if that's what would have happened to Jake Tapper if he'd stuck his head above the journalistic pig swine and said anything.
Well, that's what journalists are supposed to do.
But if they have balls,
it's not journalism. When Scott Pelley said that journalism is dead, you killed journalism. Exactly, they killed it.
President Trump, there's a lot of people who don't like President Trump. Congress's ratings are lower. The Democratic Party's rating is lower, and journalists are at the bottom of that. Nobody trusts journalists now, not even Democrats.
And for good reason. For good reason.
You lied to us about COVID, and you lied to us about Biden. The two biggest things of the last 5 years, they lied to us about, or we're too stupid to figure out.
And for the record, they aren't journalists anyway. They are entertainers. They are
actors,
broadcasters.
Propagandists.
They are reading lines and thoughts of other people, and they're commentators and they're entertainers.
Paid actors.
Right.
And like $4,000 shiny suits and perfectly coiffed hair and makeup, and most of them, frankly, most of them are morons.
Yeah, that's right. And for $20 million a year.
Go back and watch that thing where it was a few years ago where there was hundreds around the country of the man. It was always the man and the woman co-anchors, and they're all saying the exact same.
Oh yeah, they fall in line.
Yeah. He doesn't have the proper, what the hell was that Q word? Doesn't have the
gravitas.
Gravitas.
Remember when they were all saying gravitas?
I have a Flouter's funny. I'll bet you in there somewhere if you get a minute there, Flouter, before we run out of time for the news update at 4 o'clock.
I don't think that professional bowlers deserve respect. Like most people, I go bowling about once a year with some friends, mostly as a joke. But without fail, at least once during the game, I will get a strike, mostly on accident. If I can do the best move in your sport with no effort, you are not talented. I can't do the best move in any other sport. I've never gone ice skating with my buddies on a Friday night and accidentally landed a triple axel and been like, whoa, that was really lucky.
Who's that, Flouter? I love this girl.
That is Miss Elena Hersheychuk.
Well, we're going to play her a lot. She's fantastic. Very funny, clever chick. Kimmer Pete Flouter, it's 4 o'clock. Look out. So much more coming up, including the Frenchman and the wife with the right cross. Next. Look out.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. Locally owned and heard throughout Georgia on the Extra app.
Escalation between the U.S. and Russia. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. After hundreds of drones and missiles launched at Ukraine over the weekend, Russia accuses President Trump of an emotional reaction.
Posting this on Truth Social, what Vladimir Putin doesn't realize is that if it weren't for me, lots of really bad things would have already happened to Russia, adding he's playing with fire.
Fox Business's Edward Lawrence at the White House, a top Russian security official responding to the criticism with his own post, writing the only really bad thing he knows of is World War III, and saying he hopes President Trump understands this. The president has threatened new sanctions on Russia as the U.S. pushes for a peace deal. President Trump says the EU is setting up meetings after he accused them of slow-walking trade talks and threatened new tariffs. He then delayed those tariffs after a call with the European Commission president. And stocks have rallied. The Dow up 740 points at the bell, also helped by consumer confidence, getting a bounce in May after 5 straight months of declines. The governing board for California high school sports just changing its competition rules to allow more girls to compete at this weekend's state track and field championships. This after controversy over allowing a transgender athlete to compete. In a post earlier today, President Trump calling that not fair and demeaning to women and girls, threatening to pull federal funding in California. He had his first hit as a teenager.
Hang on, Snoopy, Snoopy, hang on.
That smash hit in the 60s as lead singer of the McCoys. Rick Derringer has died, the guitarist and songwriter who had a 6-decade career, also known for his 70s solo hit, Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo. TMZ reporting he was taken off life support last night after suffering a medical episode and that he had had a triple heart bypass 2 months ago. Rick Derringer was 77. America is listening to Fox News.
Born on America's darkest day of 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation has been helping America's heroes ever since. People who put their lives on the line for our country and our communities need your help now more than ever. Join Tunnel to Towers on its mission to do good in their honor. Never forget 9/11 or the sacrifices of this country's heroes and their families. Show your support. Donate $11 a month at T2T.org. That's T2T.org.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Terry's Tiny Homes, Terry! Sure, as the only employee of her company, Terry was probably the front runner, but saving money getting personalized discounts with a commercial auto quote from Progressive, well, that gave Terry the edge. Over Terry. Terry! Keep awkwardly chanting your own name, Terry. You deserve it. Woo! Be your your own Terry. See if you could save in as little as 7 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Hey Jude, don't let me down.
Dum, dum, dum.
You have found her, now go and get her.
That was on this day in 2008. Sir Paul McCartney was awarded an honorary Doctor of Music degree from Yale University. Yale's president said the former Beatle had awakened a generation, giving a fresh sound to rock and roll and to rhythm and blues. A band played Hey Jude as Sir Paul, then 65 years old in 2008, walked on stage to accept his honorary degree in music. Our birthday list, Kimmer Peyton Flounder, includes Richard Schiff. Richard Schiff is 70 years old. He was the grumpy one in West Wing, the presidential advisor, kind of the senior advisor guy in West Wing. And on this day in history, 1995, and this is why I love my little granddaughter Molly, who loves jumping horses. She's got this she's a jumper, and she's getting better and better. Just over the weekend, I posted video of her, and they have now promoted her from the cross rail jumping to the higher jumps now.
Does she come up behind the horse and jump over the, or does she come from the side?
It's on top of the back of the horse, sir, when they jumping. It's a normal type of jumping normally.
I'd start at the side.
I wasn't specific. I could have been more specific. It's my fault. I just...
They get like with 12, 15 hands.
Higher jumps, and I don't, I don't like it. I've done it. I mean, I jumped when I learned how to ride. When I was 11 or 12 years old, they had me going over jumps. I tell you what scared the crap out of me. The first time I rode a pacer horse, a racehorse pacer, they kind of pull the carts. Because they don't gallop. They go real fast walking. Trotting real fast. Yeah, try riding on that real fast.
5 years old, they put me on the pony, Tony the pony, the calmest pony ever.
Yeah.
Tony was looking at the other pony on the other side of the white picket fence that was in heat, and Tony took off and tried to jump that fence and bucked me off.
Oh, boy.
That is the last time I have been.
Well, that's probably a smart idea. Well, on this day in 1995, Christopher Reeve, Superman, thrown from his horse. He was scheduled to pose for an equestrian safety poster. The horse he was riding refused a jump, making a sudden stop as it approached the jump. Reeve fell forward, landed on his head, shattering his first and second vertebrae, leaving him paralyzed from the neck down. He had to have surgery to reattach his skull to his spine. This is 95. Christopher Reeve continued acting and directing, as you recall, but he died in 2004 after he went into cardiac arrest after receiving an antibiotic for pressure sores. And again, I don't even, honestly, when I'm a horse, I'm a horse owner, horse lover guy, but I don't watch jumping events because every once in a while you'll see the horse will balk. I get to a jump and the horse stops and there's only one way to go. And again, wear a helmet. Helmet doesn't do squat if you break your neck. I mean, helmet's not going to protect your neck. Nope. And it's just, I hate it. 406, Kimmer Peyton Flounder, how's it going? If you have any stories on Memorial Day weekend, anything happened to you, fun stuff, bad stuff, good stuff, can we help you with anything, or what's on your mind?
Brush with celebrity?
What's now?
Any brushes with celebrity over the weekend?
Brushes with celebrities. It's always a fun thing. It could, especially in Atlanta. You never know when you're just walking around downtown.
John and Jennifer Ellison of Iron Restoration.
They ran into you.
They ran into me. So
the number one celebrity up in Blue Ridge.
Well, there you are.
Probably that weekend, I didn't see any others.
Well, there you are. It's a good time.
And I was totally incognito. I had this big floppy hat on and a big long shirt. How the hell did anyone recognize me?
You were all dressed up.
I was dressed like a bomb.
That's your formal wear. Emmanuel Macron, holy cow. Now, there's a couple different stories here, a couple different versions on what happened between Emmanuel Macron and his wife, Brigitte. They were arriving in Vietnam, in Hanoi, Vietnam, waiting to disembark their plane. Video of the incident showed a uniformed man opening the plane door as the president of France, Macron, was seen wearing a suit standing in the doorway. You can see Brigitte, his wife's arms in red sleeves, reaching out and punching and pushing Macron away, one hand covering his mouth and part of his nose while the other was on his jaw. The French president turned his head away, but suddenly noticed the news cameras, so he quickly smiled and waved and then took off, and they couldn't see anything. Now, a couple of things to look at this now. Later on, they disembarked the stairs of the aircraft together. Macron offered his arm to his wife, and she did not take it. She didn't take his arm. She did not take his hand. The clip went viral. And then Macron said, oh, he and his wife, we're play fighting. We slap her. Oh, no, silly rabbit. We're joking. I was squabbling and joking with my wife, rather. It's like we're just having fun. Everybody needs to calm down. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. It was a playful moment. He said, I was bickering or rather joking with my wife. It's nothing, really. It's nothing. Well, a person named Judy James, who is an expert on body language, said, hold on a second. He betrayed his true feelings about being shoved in the face by his wife. Body language expert says he balled one of his hands into a fist as he disembarked the plane after arriving with her last night, or Sunday night, or whatever it was, and pointed out that he said he was bickering and joking and having fun, a playful moment of teasing. And this expert says pushing your partner in the face with your hand so hard their head reels to the side and you need to put a hand out to keep balance, especially with what looks like an extra shove at the end of the contact, should not be normalized by calling it fun to save political face. An Elysee official said of that video, well, it was a moment when the president and his wife were relaxing one last time before the start of the trip, having a laugh. It was a moment of closeness, really. a moment of closeness.
Ooh la la.
But of course. Meanwhile, Brigitte, concealed by the aircraft body, made it impossible to see her face. Brigitte does not take her husband's offered arm, though, when they come down the staircase. Macron seen with a tightly closed fist as they left the runway area. And the girl said this will be inevitably turned into a joke by some people. I call it genuinely shocking. Would say the same if it were any other couple walking down the street, no matter who they did it to. There's no follow-up shared laughter, no grins, no teasing rituals. He performs a think-on-your-feet wave when they got caught on camera before stepping back toward his wife. But he also touched his face like he was checking to see if he was bleeding. If this had been his hand, and her face would have been called playful if he had done it to her. So it shouldn't be if she does it to him. And I got a couple.
She groomed him.
Yeah. Well, here's the story. Hold on a second. I got Macron.
24 years difference.
All right, I got it here. I swear to God. Macron, Beyonce, funny signs.
Yeah, and they married when he was 18.
They met when he was
15. Yeah.
15. She was 39.
Here we go. The head of state, he was 15 years old, the age of consent in France. That was 1993. He met Madame Brigitte, who was 39, a high school teacher at the Catholic Lycée Le Providence in Amiens, where she was also teaching her daughter, who was a classmate of the 15-year-old she was about to have an affair with.
She was married.
They say at 15, Macron had the maturity of a 25-year-old. He used to hang around with the teachers. Brigitte's family found out about the affair. In 1994, they caught the two of them sunbathing at the pool of the teacher's aging parents. The relationship between the straight-A student and his literature and drama teacher caused an uproar. Locals sent anonymous letters to the headquarters of the chocolate and Macron factory run by Brigitte's family denouncing the affair. Neighbors and friends and foes spit on the doors of the future First Lady of France's home, according to experts. From one day to the next, her friends with whom she was planning a vacation refused to speak to her. Emmanuel Macron later mentioned the early romance, saying, "We spoke about everything. I discovered we had always known one another." Brigitte was married to a banker with whom she shared 3 children. He did not take this well. He said it was like a slap in the face, so they got divorced. The divorce dragged out for a decade. Emmanuel eventually left the school to spend his last year at a high school in Paris, but they still had the thing going. He said, Brigitte said, "My head was in a mess. I told myself that he would fall in love with someone his own age, and it never happened." She stayed by his side as he ran for president. Blistering attacks, including the fact that used her as a front to cover up his homosexual relationship with the head of Radio France. Oh, boy. Anyway, so there you go. Let's
How
see.
could you elect that as your president? That's worse than what Clinton did.
Yeah. I mean, it's really creepy.
Aren't there rumors that she's a guy?
There was rumors,
yeah.
but I don't. No
or trans or something.
Like that.
Well, I mean, again, if he's had a homosexual affair,
she was married. She had 3 kids, a husband. I don't think she's a man.
She's a guy. But still, I mean, the whole thing is very, very creepy.
Just looks like one.
All right. Anyway, we have actual new the COVID shot stuff and the thing, the changes and the Trump and the Harvard and oh man, it's all we got. A lot. Plus, we got memes, we got a game, and we got a Kimmer.
In fact, coming up right after this, we've got a very special treat.
A special treat moment. Okay, it's coming up. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 4:13. Look out. Here we go.
It's time for the Bortz Report, brought to you by Southern Exteriors, the Southeast premier home exterior solution. Quality and precision you can rely on for over 20 years. Visit southernexteriors.co.
Right now, I'm reading the book Original Sin, Jake Tapper and Alex Thompson. It's a look at the cover-up of Biden's mental decline. They really do a good job of detailing just how bad Biden's mental decline was, but in the book, about every other paragraph, they insert the paragraph, but Trump was a liar. Trump was a liar. Never mentioned that Biden was a prolific liar. You want some examples? Well, I got them. Cheated about law school. Said he graduated near the top of the class. No, it was the bottom. Lied about his grades. Lied about scholarships. He lied about being a college professor. He wasn't. He lied about being at Ground Zero on 9/11. He wasn't. No, he didn't witness the collapse of the Pittsburgh Bridge. He was never, as he said, arrested in a civil rights protest. He never drove an 18-wheeler. His first wife was found at fault in an accident that killed her. No, Joe Biden said it was the other driver. He lied about having 3 degrees in undergraduate school. He didn't. And no, his ancestors never worked in a coal mine in northeast Pennsylvania. A big no, he did not reduce the federal deficit by $1 billion. He increased it by $3 trillion. And the Inflation Reduction Act? Don't get me started. So even when writing a book about Biden's mental decline and the cover-up and the original sin, his decision to run for re-election, the Biden Democrat media has to put a focus on Donald Trump's so-called lies. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
The next big storm isn't a matter of if, it's when. Is your home ready? Southern Exteriors offers free inspections and dependable storm damage repairs with in-house warranties and honest service. Right now, get 10% off any job or 12 months, 0% financing. Hey, it's Tug, and I've met the team at Southern Exteriors. They do things the right way. Call 877-9-SOUTHERN or visit southernexteriors.co. It's 877-9-SOUTHERN or southernexteriors.co.
Yellow Jacket fans, don't miss your chance to lock in your seat for the 2025 football season today. Next year's home slate is highlighted by the renewal of our rivalry with Clemson, as well as ACC matchup versus Pitt, Syracuse, and Virginia Tech. Into the end zone! Touchdown! Haynes King! All hail the King! Support head coach Brent Key and the Jackets on game day by visiting RamblingWreck.com/tickets to get your season tickets today. Sting 'em.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's Tug, and here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
There's so many millionaires that we've got to move on to billionaires being evil. Why does a billionaire need a second home? Yeah. Why did the sawmill workers need a job cutting the lumber? Why do the sheetrock hangers need that money? Why do the people that manufacture the furniture and the appliances and the carpeting, why do they all need those jobs? Why do the florists that provide the flowers for an expensive wedding, why do they have to have a job? Why do they all need to make money just because somebody wants to throw an expensive birthday party? Don't we all know that these filthy billionaires should be giving that money away to help the poor and the less fortunate?
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
What was that now?
What? Well, HBO's doing the Harry Potter series. So they got whole new kids and everything.
HBO is doing it?
Yeah.
Wow. New stat. Why would they be doing that?
Money.
It's not that old. I mean, well, I guess. I don't. Yeah.
Well, that was the 90s. It started in the 90s. Think about that. No, not. Yeah. It started in the 90s.
30 years ago?
Yeah.
Right. Holy cow. Anyway, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, how's it going? 418. And now, Kurt Cobain. I think I'm froggy over here. Kurt Cobain.
97, yeah.
In the news, 2007, Saatchi and Saatchi were fired by Dr. Martens for running an advertising campaign featuring dead rock stars like Kurt Cobain. Also featured Sid Vicious wearing the brand's Boots in Heaven. Saatchi and Saatchi's a boot company? A brand, I guess a clothing company. David Suddens, the chief executive of Dr. Martens' parent company Airwear, said the brand had not commissioned a series of 4 print ads. Dr. Martens are very sorry for any offense that has been caused by the publication of images showing dead rock icons wearing Dr. Martens boots. Okay, Dr. Martens boots. Well,
Doc Marten. Yeah.
Doc Marten? I don't know what those are.
Those are big, clunky, heavy, almost Frankenstein-looking things.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, those were huge
little
for a
5-point.
Yeah. Oh, they were enormous years ago.
The goth kids loved them. Yeah. You probably see some next door right now.
Oh my God! Holy smokes! I talk about. I don't know. It's some group. It's a goth group. Black, black lipstick and black fingernails, and everybody was wearing black and purple hair.
Easy girls.
And oh man. Well, the guy. I dated one goth chick for
they're fun.
2 dates.
They were fun.
But I was in my 40s and she was 20, so that But we had nothing to talk about. But I love it. She was sweet and not at all like you would think of a black fingernail type chick, and just
misunderstood.
No, she was wonderful in every way. I just couldn't pull it off. I couldn't pull it off. Oh, hello.
What?
Anyway, so
no, Bill Belichick's
sweet girl
story for you,
sweet girl. Yeah. And then there was Amanda. She was 21. I was 48. Anyway, our birthday list includes...
You were young. You were spring. Stockbridge.
Our birthday list includes Perry Gilpin. Remember Perry Gilpin is 64. Yeah. Roz on Frasier.
Mm-hmm.
Perry Gilpin, 64. All right, sir. And on this day in history... this was a bad one, very, very bad for people around the world. On this day in 1939, a boat carrying 937 refugees, mostly Jews fleeing the Nazis, turned away from Havana, Cuba. 28 immigrants were admitted into the country. They appealed to the United States and Canada to take the rest of them. They said, no, we can't do that. So they were forced to sail back to Europe. The St. Louis, the name of the boat, sailed from Hamburg to Havana. Most of the people on there were children, German Jews escaping the Third Reich. Earlier, 91 people killed at Jewish homes. Kristallnacht, it started it all. They said, we got to get the hell out of here. World War II, formal implementation of the final solution months from the beginning. The refugees had applied for visas in America and wanted to stay in Cuba till they could enter the American states legally. Before they could set sail, their arrival was greeted with hostility in Cuba. There was an anti-Semitic demonstration in Havana. The St. Louis boat arrived on May 27th. 28 people on board had visas. The rest were turned away, 900 more. 7 days they tried to negotiate. Cuba said no. They sailed closer to Florida, hoping to get off there. Weren't allowed to dock in Florida. They tried to cable President Roosevelt, asking for refuge. He said nope. Never replied. State Department stated the asylum seekers must await their turn on the waiting list before they can get into America. The St. Louis went north to Canada, rejected there too. No country could open its... Listen to what they said. No country could open its doors wide enough to take in the hundreds of thousands of Jewish people who want to leave Europe. The line must be drawn somewhere, said Canada's Director of Immigration.
Some of the hardest working, smartest people in the world, they were doctors and scientists.
Yeah. The ship returned to Europe, docked in Antwerp, Belgium in June. Several Jewish organizations had entry visas for some of them, but the majority on the ship The majority who traveled on the ship survived the Holocaust, but 300 later died under the hands of the Nazis.
I would have jumped that ship at some point rather than go back to Europe.
I mean, I can't imagine.
I would have jumped that ship off Florida.
And the Canadians saying, well, nobody can take hundreds of thousands of Jewish refugee people. I mean,
how about just a boat?
We're 900 of it. That's all. It wasn't the whole, it wasn't like it took 15 million. To become new Democrats. Anyway, now we have something weird coming up here. Flounder, are you in on this? I don't. One of those secret segments here of some kind. I don't know what's going on now.
Once again, it's time for Kimmer's Kuddly Kritter Korner, a look at the wacky world of our animal amigos. And here's your host, Mr. Pete Davis.
Thanks, Flounder. Today we take a look in the way back machine, 1931.
Oh.
Are you with me there?
I'm right now with you.
Mr. Peabody is here with Sherman.
Oh, my boy Sherman.
Where we meet George End. E-N-D.
All right, sir.
George had moved to Florida from Wisconsin. Before that, he was in New York to grow vegetables down in the Sunshine State, but he failed. How could you fail to grow vegetables in the Sunshine?
Grows in Florida.
So he thought he'd cash in on the growing canned food craze sweeping the nation by filling a need in the marketplace for snake meat. Specifically rattlesnake meat. Lots of those he found around his farm. Not a lot of vegetables, but a lot of rattlesnakes. George came up with the catchy name, Genuine Diamondback Rattlesnake with Supreme Sauce.
Oh, my Lord.
Because, as we all know, rattlesnake ain't squat without sauce.
Well, you got to have the sauce.
It was a smash, especially among veterans. In 1940, George was selling 15,000 cans a month at $1.25 a can.
Rattlesnake meat?
Yes. In fact, swanky restaurants in L.A. and New York had it on their menus. I'm not making this up.
1940. Wow.
The snake meat sold for 13 years. He was living the high life there until 1944.
Yeah.
Was it the Second World War that caused its demise?
Well,
no. Was it the rise in popularity of another strange meat called Spam?
Oh, well, Spam.
Nope,
No.
wasn't Spam.
No.
In 1943, one of the rascally reptiles resisted and got his revenge by sinking his fangs into George's right hand.
Uh-oh.
Anti-venom that he himself gave himself did not work, and George End met his end in a matter of hours.
And now,
matter of hours.
Moment of silence in honor of George and the dead snake.
Matter of hours.
He had
Oh, there it is, in a matter of hours.
A matter of hours.
There's a thing there.
The bottom of the page there.
You're supposed to.
No, it's,
No. Cute.
Once again, there you have it, another epidermis entering episode of Kimmer's Kuddly Korner.
That's the award winner right there.
Talk about spontaneous. No sense planning stuff when you can do it this live, you know.
Screw it. We'll do it live.
Old-fashioned radio, by Jesus. Oh, mercy. 426. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. 404-741-1230. Hope you're doing okay. Hope you had a good, successful weekend of memories and happiness and a thing about what actually the day. In fact, you know what? I got another couple of hero things that popped up on my phone of stars who served their country, and you may not have known it. God darn it, why can't... Here we go. I mentioned James Whitmore was a Marine, got the Purple Heart for taking shrapnel in Saipan, fought alongside Lee Marvin. Gene Roddenberry flew 89 combat missions, Star Trek crew guy. Fred Gwynn, you know from Oh, hey, baby. Hey, darling, can you tell what I'm thinking right now? Oh, my God, I love you. I want to be. Oh, God. I'm sorry. She has to wave to me, and I can't just ignore her. I have to. Well, I love her. I'm sorry.
You love everyone.
I do. I love them all. I mean, I brought them all. I brought all the girls cookies today. I brought every girl in here. I brought her cookies, and I brought Pete cookies, and I brought Flounder cookies, and I brought me cookies.
Tootsie Roll.
And a Tootsie Roll. So I brought all the girls cookies, and so there.
And Cam, the intern, brought some cookies for all of us.
Hey, by the way, I'm going to tell you about Fred Gwynn in a second. First of all, while I remember it, how come we didn't get an intern?
They always forget about us.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
Even the morning show got an intern.
You didn't notice them last week. You weren't here. There must have been 30 of these.
What can they do with 30 interns?
18-year-old beautiful
Put them
young
in the 680
girls
studio.
Who, by the way,
for what?
And let me just say
do nothing.
The new apparent dress code for young girls is a lot different than what I remember it used to be.
Yeah, I mean, wear that to work.
Holy crap! Off the shoulder, teeny little tops and short shorts, and I mean, holy smokes! And they're gorgeous.
It's unbelievable.
I'm sorry.
That's why they're not going to send any in here because the way you're talking right now.
But how come we didn't get one? You're busier than hell in there.
Okay.
You could use somebody.
Well, Flounder could use an intern.
Yeah.
What would we do with an intern? But sit on the couch and look pretty?
No, we don't need an intern. Flounder needs an intern.
I'll put their ass to work.
Yes.
Well, in fact, I don't want people in here watching me do stuff.
I'll have them cut up audio, answer the phone. I'll have them do actual work.
Yeah, I mean, if
you love people sitting in studio watching you work. You said the other day you wish there was like 3 or 4 people every show.
No, excuse me. No, just time. No, Kimmer does not like people in the studio with him.
He does. Remember the old days when people would come and stare at you through the window, and it would freak you out.
Oh my God. Anyway, so those they're freaking magnificent. I swear to God. Anyway, Fred Gwynn. Now, this is cool. Again, a Memorial Day thing, which was yesterday. Fred Gwynn, who was in Car 54, Where Are You? And
Herman,
the Munsters, and as the judge in the movie My Cousin Vinny, among other things. Fred Gwynn's been in a million different things. Fred Gwynn was 16 years old when he forged his mother's signature and joined the Navy. In World War II, he fought with distinction in the Pacific on a sub-chaser. He never spoke about the war, only hinting he had seen a lot. Fred Gwynn was 16 when he faked being in the Navy. He got in to be in the Navy. James Garner was 16 years old when he ran away from home and joined the Merchant Marines. He served with distinction in World War II. He earned 2 Purple Hearts during the Korean War and made a point of hiring veterans whenever he could. James Garner, 16.
I think it was a movie, Great Escape, that he was in, James Garner. Donald Pleasance was in there. He was in a lot of stuff. He was in one of the Bond movies.
Blind guy in The Great Escape? Yeah.
And he was and I forget who the director was, Sturgis or Ford or something. I forget who it was. And Pleasance, because they kept doing a scene 30 times, and Pleasance said, why don't we try it this way? And the director just went off on him. And Pleasance was a nice man. He was a veteran, too, and didn't say anything. And later on, James Garner visited the director. He says, you ever do that again, we're going to have words, you and I. Next time Donald opens his mouth, he's a war hero. You will not only listen to him, you will do what he says next time he does. James Garner didn't put up with anybody. In fact, he got mad at Bronson for doing something similar, Charles Bronson, and he threatened Bronson.
Yeah.
If you ever, they were playing cards, and it was a young intern or something, or a young actor, and the actor won, and Bronson blew it off and said he wasn't going to pay him. Who are you for me to pay you for losing a bet? And Garner went up to him and said, not only are you going to pay him, but if you do that again. He ran that place.
Yeah. Well, good. I mean, good. Anyway, and again, Semper Fi. God bless America. There, but for the grace. It's 4:31 already. Holy cow! Vaccine medicines and the Trump administration, Harvard. The woman who's in charge of doing a study on honesty at Harvard just got fired for being dishonest. Yes, that's all coming up. Kevin, Pete, and Flounder. 4:31 here. Look out! Stand by.
Extra 106.3 has the biggest lineup of conservative voices all week, and we're loaded with live and local programming every weekend. The All 4 Seasons Home Show, Back Your Blue, Ben Burnett, Janelle King, and NASCAR on Sundays. See the full weekend lineup at extra1063.com and stream it free on the Extra app.
If you've been thinking about a new Ford, now's the time to buy. At Jim Ellis Ford Sandy Springs, you can take advantage of employee pricing on select new Ford models.
That means you pay what Ford employees pay. No markup, no hidden fees. It's all a part of Ford's bold campaign, From America, for America.
While others may raise prices due to new auto tariffs, Jim Ellis Ford Sandy Springs is stepping up, giving you the power to save big on American-made vehicles. Choose from bestsellers like the F-150, rugged Bronco, capable Explorer, or the all-electric Mustang Mach-E.
Vehicles built to move America and move you.
And when you buy from Jim Ellis Ford Sandy Springs, you're not just getting a great deal, you're getting award-winning service from a locally family-owned dealership.
Find your perfect Ford just 4 miles north of 285 on Roswell Road, or shop online at JimEllisFord.com. JimEllisFord.com. Jim Ellis Ford, Sandy Springs, where you pay what we pay.
And where you can always expect the best.
It's front office lows for Traeger and Howard Brothers. Howard Brothers has everything for your yard, but they also love cooking on Traeger grills. You can get all of your Traeger needs at the Howard Brothers stores in Duluth, Lula, and Oakwood. What are you cooking tonight? Is it going to be grilled chicken, maybe some baby back ribs, pulled pork, burgers? Whatever you're grilling, get to Howard Brothers and get all you need for superior flavor and perfect meals every single time. It's time for you to get a Traeger wood pellet grill. Don't go to the big box. Go see the grill experts at Howard Brothers.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
Retirement means different things to different people. Some folks want to travel the world. Some folks want to spend more time with grandkids. For me, I'm looking forward to spending more time with my guitar. Whether extravagant and robust or simple and cozy, every retirement needs a plan. You wouldn't take a trip without directions. You have to know where you are before you know where you're going. Master Plan Retirement Consultants have helped many like you plan for their own retirement. Not only does Master Plan help you create the roadmap, they join you on the journey. So whether you want to travel the world, become a pickleball champ, or just looking for a good porch, a sturdy rocking chair, and an acoustic guitar, remember to plan well, because the destination is worth it. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your complimentary consultation today.
From the latest breaking news to the conservative voices you know and trust, your best new follow on social media is Extra 1063. We're at XTRA 1063 on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, and LinkedIn, and pretty much any social media you scroll through every day. And we drop exclusive giveaways, new daily content, and the latest breaking news from Georgia and across this great nation. Interact with your favorite Extra personalities. Get the latest on our live events and so much more. Follow at Extra 1063 across all your social media and keep up with Atlanta's only conservative voice. From the latest breaking news to the conservative voices you know and trust, your best new follow on social media is Extra 1063. We're at XTRA 1063 on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, and LinkedIn, and pretty much any social media you scroll through every day. And we drop exclusive giveaways, new daily content, and the latest breaking news from Georgia and across this great nation. Interact with your favorite Extra personalities. Get the latest on our live events and so much more. Follow at Extra 1063 across all your social media and keep up with Atlanta's only conservative voice.
That would be we. WFOM, the Farm of Atlanta, 96.3. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, at 4:36 on your Tuesday. Feels like Monday. By the way, it looks like the weather's getting kind of nasty out there, too. Is that raining now? It's definitely dark and looks like it's windy and nasty and horrible.
They lied to us.
And by the way, I wonder if the people up the street waiting for the concert to open in about 3 hours are probably going nuts right now.
There's an underneath place maybe they can get under.
I don't know, but it's looks like a troubling crowd.
Looks like trouble.
I mean, it's like goth something or anyway, whatever. I'm sorry,
it's some Asian pop band that's playing tonight.
K-pop.
And it kind of looked like. In fact, I saw a lot of very hot, weird-looking Asian chicks with purple hair stripes and funny little black sequined outfits and stuff. I mean, they're hot. They're hot. They're weird.
Democrat voters.
Democrat vote, I know, but you don't have to vote with them.
They don't
have
vote.
to kiss them on the mouth. Another good point. The year 2000, 25 years ago on this day, Paula Yates was awarded almost $700,000 in an out-of-court settlement from her boyfriend, Michael Hutchins' fortune. The In Excess singer was found dead in his hotel suite in Sydney in 1997. 3 years earlier, he was 37, and she got almost $700,000 from her boyfriend's estate. It doesn't say from what, but she talked somebody into it, so there you go. There you go. Birthday list includes Adam Carolla. What's the matter? Oh, we got news, breaking news.
Save that. We'll get right back to it.
What do you got?
From our boss.
Uh-oh. Which one?
Scott. You're getting an intern next week. Simmer down butternuts.
He liked everything about the guy butternuts. It was Scott's famous last.
It's like
very funny.
Well, we're getting an intern.
We don't want
okay.
to.
Does she draw the short straw? The poor girl or poor boy? I didn't see any boys.
Yeah, little. Yeah, no, there's a couple of guys in there. They'll give us a guy. I guarantee it.
Yeah,
they're like 2 boys and 42 girls. They're going to give us a guy. Anyway, I don't care. He's not
finish
coming
your
in
birthday.
No, it's going to be in there with Flounder. I don't want people in here.
They can sit here when I'm not here and just stare at you.
No, thank you. Unless the little girl wants to sit on my lap and call me baby.
That ain't going to happen.
Well, then they're staying out there. A birthday list includes Adam Carolla. I like Adam Carolla. Yes. He has a dry wit sense of humor, and he has the attitude where he has that kind of funky smile all the time. Yeah, he has kind of the wise guy. Well, really what happened was
he's the most un-Californian guy I've ever known.
And he keeps talking about how horrible it is, and he keeps living. I mean, he won't go. But
it's his home.
Hey, it's the Eastlands here. Anyway, Adam Carolla is 61 years old today. I got to cross that off. I confuse it later. And on this day in history, savagery at Dunkirk, 1940. Units from Germany's SS Death Squad battled British troops near Dunkirk, northern France. After holding off the SS company, their ammo ran out. The Norfolk Regiment soldiers retreated to a farmhouse. The ships waited to carry them home for the British Expeditionary Force had been fighting alongside the French in war against Germany. The trapped regiment started to file out of the farmhouse, waving a white flag tied to a bayonet. They were met by German machine gun fire. Slaughtered. They tried again, ran back, tried again. The British regiment was ordered by the English-speaking German officer to an open field. They were searched and divested of everything from gas masks to their cigarettes. Then they were marched into a pit where machine gun fires had been placed into fixed positions. The German order came, fire. They were slaughtered again. The rest of them, some Brits survived the machine gun fire, were stabbed to death with bayonets or shot with the Germans' pistols. Of the 99 members of that regiment, 2 lived, both privates. They lay among the dead dark until the dark. In the middle of the rainstorm, they crawled to a farmhouse where the farmers tended to their wounds, but they had nowhere else to go, and so they surrendered to the Germans again, who made them POWs. Let's see. They surrendered again. One guy's leg was so bad was repatriated to England in exchange for some wounded German soldiers, but nobody believed his story about what the slaughter happened outside of Dunkirk. When the other guy finally returned home and verified it, a British military tribunal in Hamburg after the war found that German officer who gave the order to fire, Captain Fritz Kochlein, guilty of a war crime, and they hanged him.
Good.
Can you? Good Lord! What? Twice. Anyway, I don't know how you can be that kind of person.
And this is the week of the miracle of Dunkirk.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that movie?
No, I've heard. I know of it. I don't know anything about it.
Tom Hardy flying around in that Spitfire was my favorite part of it.
Yeah. Well, I flew the same Spitfire.
It was a year ago.
Yeah,
it was that was 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
This weekend. Yeah.
Cool. 441, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Let's see.
And thanks to Mike, he put together the. And I'll put it on Facebook again. And
the video.
He put the videos together. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty cool. Okay, some newsy stuff. Oh, in fact, you know what? Let me do this first, and I got a weird thing on the side here. In fact, I got a whole bunch of weird...
Don't call her that.
Actually, you know what? I wanted to mention this because I don't want to... tomorrow will be too late to even talk about it, and it's really kind of stupid, and I'm even weird for bringing it up. Over the weekend, on Saturday and Sunday, I go to the stable sometime in the morning, and I take videos of the horses, and then I can only go 2 days on the weekends, and then I put them on, like a video every day during the week. So yesterday, or Sunday, I was hiding behind a tree to get video of the horses being taken out to the pasture, where I'm hoping if they don't see me, they'll roll and play in the mud and stuff like that and chase each other and have fun. So I was hiding behind this great big tree at the stable, And I put this on Facebook. I sent the video to you guys, too. This has never happened to me before, and I'll bet it's never happened to you either. Why are you laughing at me, you bastard?
First, sounds like a penthouse forum.
I couldn't
78
believe
years
it.
old. I never thought this could happen to me. Did you tell? I'm laughing. Did you tell the poor ladies there you were going to hide behind a tree?
No, they all know me. They're in fact.
There's the weird dude sitting behind the tree with a camera.
That's exactly what it is. In fact, there are new people all the time, and I can tell that they have told them about me because at first you can see these little, there's like a couple of little 14-year-old girls running around saying, I wonder who the hell's that guy with a phone out all the time.
Taking a video of my 14-year-old.
And then the next time I see them, they're going, oh, hey, like this. So they've been warned that I know what I'm doing. So I'm hiding behind the tree as they're bringing out the horses, and I have my hand on the tree as I'm kind of leaning around the other side of the tree. And all of a sudden, something touches my finger. And I go, what the? I thought it was maybe like a snake on the tree. I seriously, I thought it was a snake on the tree or something, or a horse. I mean, bee's nest. I didn't know. And I shook my hand off, and I looked, and I didn't see anything on the tree. I didn't see anything that would touch my finger. And I looked a little closer, and it was a frog.
Yeah.
Looking like a tree.
I can show you videos of people put of copperheads that blend into the tree, and you can't see them till they're right there.
I felt something on my finger, and I thought, oh my God, I hope that's not. I immediately withdrew it, not thinking, don't move. And then I looked down, it's a freaking frog. And I took a close-up video of that frog. You can't even tell the difference between the frog and the tree.
It's amazing.
I have never seen a tree frog on a tree in real life thing before. It was fascinating.
We have a new issue in our backyard with Lucas.
With a bird?
No, he's discovered chipmunks.
Oh, God.
Chipmunks. He's brought 3.
He's caught them. Oh, no,
he's caught them?
Yeah. Lucas, they catch chipmunks.
Oh, I like chipmunks.
Are they dead when he brings them? He's bringing
There's been one that was still alive that I put back in the woods, but he's brought 3 that are dead.
He's bringing you presents.
But the thing is it's kind of a good thing because him doing that, then there's nothing for the copperheads to eat.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, if he gets mice too, that's good.
Yeah, so Veronica wasn't a big fan. The other morning, he brought one right up to the door, and she was like,
"Oh boy." Yeah, we had an outdoor cat once, and used to do the same thing. Would bring various animals.
Tell you what, you watch those copperhead tree things, you'll never just lean your hand up against the tree again without like hitting it with a stick or looking at it closely.
I couldn't believe it. Something touched my finger.
You could have been in bed pretty easily.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, I put it on Facebook and my YouTube.
Supposedly they like those cicadas.
Yeah, cicadas. The noisemakers. Yeah,
the copperheads love to eat those, and they hang around the base of the tree and sometimes climb up to get them.
Yeah. This is not good. No. It's 4:45 already. Holy cow. Holy crap. At sports, we still have tweets. We have a game. And we got Flounders Funny. So, we really have too much. We may have
We'll do the game.
Let's do game next. Game next. Yeah, we can do we all got tweets. I got tweets. We all got tweets. Game coming up. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder.
There we go.
That's what I said.
Need more than just headlines on your ride to work? Tug, Rhino, and Los have you covered with the biggest stories of the day and everything your coworkers will be talking about. It's the Morning Extra, live from 6 to 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, only on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Hey, this is Tom from The Honest Car Guy. We help you buy your next pre-owned car or truck honestly. We guarantee each vehicle we sell will come with a copy of the bill of sale, showing what we paid for it. You pay what we pay, plus an honest fee. Guaranteed. Honesty is the best policy, and we guarantee it. Finally, a pre-owned car and truck buying process that you can trust.
Get an honest car buy from The Honest Car Guy. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME-1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
Fox on Tech.
College students are embracing AI faster than any other group. Over 1/3 of 18 to 24-year-olds use ChatGPT. And in that group, over a quarter of their messages are about learning, tutoring, and schoolwork. The challenge is, when does AI cross into cheating? The technology is good enough that ChatGPT can now finish your math homework and write most of your essays. AI policies are usually left up to individual professors at each school. Some are relying on AI detectors, but there are already apps available right now that beat those detectors. Other professors are changing the way they grade students. Brian Green at Santa Clara University stopped giving students essay assignments after he caught his students cheating with AI.
This is something I emphasize to my students very often, which is that if you use AI to replace you in school, don't be surprised if someone eventually uses AI to replace you in your job.
With Fox On Tech, I'm Madison Allworth, Fox Business.
You upgrade your phone, you upgrade your wardrobe, even your lawn. So why not upgrade the part of your home that actually protects your family? Southern Exteriors specializes in roofing, siding, gutters, windows, and they're making it easier than ever before with 10% off any job or 12 months of 0% financing. Hey, it's Tug, and I know the folks at Southern Exteriors. They show up, they do it right, and they stand behind their work. Call them today, 877-9-SOUTHERN, or visit southernexteriors.co.
The only thing better than covering all these Trump wins is watching the left implode over it.
Donald Trump, he's entertaining the world while he's changing the whole freaking planet.
Extra 106.3 is committed to bring you the news you care about most. From Atlanta legends and conservative voices you've relied on for a generation. Proud to be Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station. Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app. Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station. Extra 106.3 FM.
And now, God save the Queen, baby. Unless you're in Britain, yes. On this day, 1977, the Sex Pistols single, God Save the Queen, was released in Britain. Was banned by TV and radio. High street shops and pressing plant workers refused to even handle it. The record sold 200,000 copies in 1 week. Peaked at number 2 in Britain behind Rod Stewart's I Don't Want to Talk About It. There have been persistent rumors, never confirmed or denied, that it was actually the biggest selling single in Britain at the time, and the British phonographic industry conspired to keep it off the number 1 spot just because they didn't want it to be number 1. Well, it's
great song.
It's kind of a screaming song to me. It's not really actual music, but it has a message, which is good. Let's see. Our birthday list includes, and we have a game coming up. Is that what you said? I think coming. Our birthday list includes Jack McBrayer. You may know that name, you may not. 52 years old, Jack McBrayer played that guy Kenneth on 30 Rock. He played the goofball from Stone Mountain, the redneck.
He's from somewhere around here.
He is from around here somewhere. I can't remember.
But they're making fun of... They kept calling Stone Mountain a bunch of pig farmers.
Yeah,
it's like
that's hardly...
Stone Mountain is mainly African-American, and they really don't have a lot of pig farms in Stone Mountain.
Not that many pig farms. Well, it was TV, you know.
But it was typical New York, no clue.
Right.
And he was from here. I mean, that's come on, man.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And ironically, 30 Rock was one of the greatest sitcoms ever, like with Cheers and Seinfeld, and like 4 or 5 that are forever things, and 30 Rock's one of them.
Alec Baldwin, he's got a tux on, and she goes, is that thing tonight? And he goes, no, it's in 2 weeks. She goes, well, why do you have a tux on? And he turned to her and he goes, it's after 6. What am I, a farmer?
Yeah, right. He was, as much as I hate the guy personally, he was a great comedic actor.
Yes.
Actor when he would play on the submarine thing, too.
Hunt for Red October.
Yeah. But anyway, and Flounder, did you have a chance to get the musical historical note I mentioned to you earlier? Here we go. Check this out.
He don't take no time to play, time to play, time to play. All he does is work all day.
Bump, bump.
You can play and laugh and
1933, The Three Little Pigs is released by Walt Disney, called The Silly Symphony. Released on this day in 1933, cost $20,000 to make, made $250,000. It won the 1934 Academy Award Best Animated Short Film. And the song, Who's Afraid of the Big Bad Wolf, written by Frank Churchill. It was written by Frank Churchill, and it was a huge hit. And this is 1933, remember. It was used as an anthem against the Great Depression, as a statement also against Adolf Hitler. The names of the characters are Fiddler Pig, Pfeiffer Pig, Practical Pig, and Zeke Midas Wolf were the actual Three Little Pigs character. And Who's Afraid of the Big Bad Wolf was used to say screw Hitler, and we're not afraid of the Depression either.
Oh.
Pretty cool, I mean, when you think about it.
Silly symphonies were funny. They were good.
Yeah. But anyway, I got Three Little Pigs. Okay,
Rick the Painter's on the phone.
Rick the Painter, holy smokes, we're wondering what happened. It's almost 4:53. What do you got there, Rick the Painter? How's it going, man?
Hey, Kimmer.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I went to one of those festivals like Pete did over the weekend.
You did?
They got the art stuff, the art shows.
Art shows, yeah.
Hey, and I went to one of the booths that was it had some very cool stuff. Origamis.
Yeah.
Do you know what origamis are?
Origamis, yeah, the little Japanese paper things into creatures and birds and stuff. I like that, yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
They fold them up and really impressive stuff. And it's taking off now. It's kind of like Legos was back in the day.
Really? Kind of like Legos?
And
Yeah.
it started... And with the lady that had the booth, I was talking to her, and she had some pretty impressive stuff that she had done.
Really? And
the paper that they have, they use, it's got different colors and stripes and things.
Yeah.
So they buy it. Anyway, I asked her, and she showed me, I bought some stuff, and I loved it.
Yeah.
But I asked her where she bought her paper from, and there's an actual origami store up in Alpharetta.
An origami store in Alpharetta, I'll be darned, really?
Yes, sir. So I went up to there, and because I wanted to buy some of that paper, and she showed me how to fold some of these things, so I decided I'm going to check this out.
Yeah.
I went up to the origami store in Alpharetta, and there was a sign on the door that said, "I'm sorry, we're closed, we're out of business." So I guess they folded.
So there's no more company.
God.
Yeah, golly, that could have been a world record.
Is this joke under 15 minutes?
Could have been setting a standard here.
Mike sent this one. You ready?
I'm ready now, yes.
Went to the hearing doctor the other day.
Hearing doctor?
Yeah, got bad news. Told me I was going deaf.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was really hard to hear.
It was really hard to hear that. Hey, ho, ha. Ding, dang,
See,
chang.
you can do that in less than 10 seconds.
Well, let's see. I wonder if I have a little something in here.
That's what she said.
I thought,
when you came over.
Right there in the back. Hey, ho. Very funny. Actually, you know what? I've got another couple of military things.
All right.
From Memorial Day. I mentioned James Garner was 16, ran away from home and joined the Merchant Marines, also fought in Korea. Jimmy Stewart enlisted after winning the Oscar, World War II. Clark Gable tried to talk him out of it. Clark Gable said, "Kid, find another way to give back." Jimmy Stewart ignored the advice from Clark Gable and flew 25 missions over Europe. And by the way, after Clark Gable's beloved wife, Carol Lombard, died in a plane crash, Gable had a change of heart. He flew combat missions over Europe and nearly died himself. Jimmy Stewart and Clark Gable. Paul Newman fought in the Pacific in World War II. Were it not for a twist of fate, he would have died on the USS Bunker Hill. Most of his friends perished. He never got over the survivor's guilt until he met Joanne Woodward. One more. Suzanne Pleshette worked with Eddie Albert on a Columbo episode. "You look so natural in uniform," she told Eddie Albert between takes. Eddie Albert said nothing. He just kind of stared down and kind of walked away. A confused Suzanne Pleshette was kind of startled, unsure what had happened. Peter Falk, doing the Columbo episode, turned to Suzanne Pleshette and said, "Eddie Albert saved 70 Marines at Tarawa. And I think sometimes he's back there." One more. Audrey Hepburn was part of the Dutch resistance in World War II. She was 15. She helped conceal downed Allied pilots from the Nazis. She said, "I wasn't about a hero. I just did my small part." Wow.
Fox has a story right now of an AI robot.
Oh, I'm looking at it.
It was dancing and moving, and they told it, "Okay, that's enough," and it refused to answer. It didn't shut down. It refused. It ignored.
Really? Wow, how unusual! And by the way, we're going to do a game. We're going to do a game after 5 because I got to mention this too. I mean, this is I heard
ignored the commands.
I heard Glenn Beck this morning, and he had another one of those guys, and he do the guys who know all this stuff. He said Glenn Beck actually showed this. I heard it on radio. He said you can watch it on TV if you have the tube thing. AI. He said if you type in one line of copy and tell AI to make a movie, it'll do it, and it'll do it in a few seconds. He typed in a line, and you could hear and see if you were were watching TV of his show, AI made a movie. The dialogue, the characters were all fake. They were not real people. And it looked like a real people movie, real characters, real dialogue, and it was all fake. AI fake. All of it. The real people, you're watching them in a movie. They weren't real.
It's 5 years from now. We are not going to recognize a lot of things.
It's the next step up from making dinosaurs on King Kong movies.
Yeah.
I mean, it's real. Yeah, a guy said it'll be bigger. AI will be bigger than than finding electricity or the Industrial Revolution. And when Elon Musk was asked about it, Elon Musk said, you know what? I don't want to really become someone's house cat. Think about that line. Human beings becoming someone's house cat.
Yeah.
AI. 458 Florida. We got a little funny back there. It's changed the mood here. Boy, it's
Went for a run. I was at a track. And it was me and one other person at the track. And it was a woman. She was a very large lady, big girl. She was walking. I was running. I hadn't run in a while. So when I finished, she just happened to be right next to me. We kind of like caught eyes. And I went, whoo! Don't you hate being out of shape? I meant like, don't you hate that feeling when you haven't run in a while? And she just went, yeah. And I realized from her perspective, she's just out for a walk, getting it together, and then just a skinny asshole showed up and jogged laps around her for like 30 minutes and then stopped and be like, don't you hate being out of shape? So all I could do was just run more. I just started running again, which is even worse because it literally looks like I paused my run to be like, you're up, right?
Who's that?
Mr. Joe List right there.
Joe List. You know, it's funny. I feel terrible because my ears are so messed up, even with my newfangled ear rockets and stuff, I could.
That was bad audio.
Understand.
That was bad. That was kind of a recording from the audience.
Yeah.
So.
But again,
Not just you.
but still, you guys could hear. Very funny, Mr. Silent Mouth Mover over here. Anyway, but that's the level at which my hearing kind of disappears of distinguishing words. Was that whatever that level of noise was? So it's life. It's getting old, man. What a country. 5 o'clock, Kimmer Pete Florida. We got the game. We got stuff. We got holy crap and sports. And it's all here coming up at 5 o'clock. The weather changing, too. Look out there.
The Morning Extra. Every weekday morning from 6 to 10 on WFOM and W292 EV Marietta on Dickey Broadcasting Station. Extra 106.3.
A new fast-track request. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. The Trump administration asking the U.S. Supreme Court to quickly consider a challenge to migrants being deported to South Sudan, asking justices to lift a federal judge's order blocking those deportations, at least temporarily. Most of the migrants are not from South Sudan.
The administration says in some cases, migrants' countries of origin are unwilling to take them back, and allowing them to stay in the U.S. victimizes law-abiding Americans. Judge Brian Murphy says the White House unquestionably violated his earlier order requiring migrants be given a chance to object before being sent to a third-party country.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. New York City's first-in-the-nation congestion pricing program stays in place for now as a federal judge blocks the Trump administration effort to end the toll on vehicles heading into part of Manhattan. The federal government had given the city and transportation authority until tomorrow to end the program or risk losing federal funds and approvals for state projects. New York's governor says the program is legal and is working, reducing congestion and raising money for transit improvements. Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville has a new campaign.
I will announce that I will be the future governor of the great state of Alabama.
Telling Fox's Will Cain just a short time ago.
I'm doing this to help this country and the great state of Alabama. I'm a football coach. I'm a leader. I'm a builder. I'm a recruiter. And we're going to grow Alabama.
The former college football coach won election to the Senate in 2020 as a Trump ally. Current governor, Republican Kay Ivey, is term limited. Missouri's abortion ban may be back on again. The state Supreme Court just ruling a district judge applied the wrong standards in rulings that allowed abortions to resume in Missouri. Voters struck down the state's abortion ban last November. The Missouri Supreme Court is handing it back to the district judge. America's listening to Fox News.
Born on America's darkest day of 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation has been helping America's heroes ever since. People who put their lives on the line for our country and our communities need your help now more than ever. Join Tunnel to Towers on its mission to do good in their honor. Never forget 9/11 or the sacrifices of this country's heroes and their families. Show your support. Donate $11 a month at T2T.org. That's T2T.org.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Terry's Tiny Homes, Terry! Sure, as the only employee of her company, Terry was probably the front runner, but saving money getting personalized discounts with a commercial auto quote from Progressive, well, that gave Terry the edge. Over Terry. Terry! Keep awkwardly chanting your own name, Terry. You deserve it. Woo! Be your own Terry. See if you could save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Let's get it together, ladies. Left shoulder. Stripes on bikes. Ready on your dog target. Road guards out. Look out. It's only me. It's only the giver, silly rabbit. 503 with Pete Davis and Flounder. And we're getting an intern next week. How exciting can that be? Not in here, Flounder. Get a little Flounder, a little helper in there. That's all we need. Anyway, how's it going? It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood until recently, and it looks like it's going to be kind of crappy out there. There was a tornado warning for Fayette County earlier. And it looks like it's raining. Flounder, you can tell. Well, you can't see the window from where you are. It looks like it's raining out there, but it's hard to tell. Anyway, it looks pretty nasty. So be careful if you're driving and, the whole deal there. Anyway, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 404-741-1230, 741-1230. And lamenting the fact that in my neighborhood, other than my 2 little flags I fly on my deck 24 hours a day, 1 flag in the neighborhood, 1 American flag in our entire subdivision. And it's just, it's too bad.
I think the term today is homosexual.
The term of the day? What do you mean by that, sir?
You said you only counted 1 F word in your neighborhood, so...
No, 1 flag, sir.
Flag.
Flag.
So I just walked in.
I see. No, I would not.
Just one American.
I would have said homo. I mean, I still can't say queer. I mean, honestly,
even though that's back.
That's back. Yeah. In fact, you're supposed to say, well, he's queer, so you can't really condemn him.
But does it mean
I can't say it.
What it used to mean?
I don't know. I just can't I just can't come up with it. It's like saying the N-word. Well, think twice before you silly. Nobody uses that stuff. I don't know. It's just stupid. Anyway. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. By the way, I guess I'll be going to jail. Okay. In fact, Pete Davis, I think you'll be going to jail with me the day after tomorrow because apparently I have a DMV ticket charge. Oh, yes. And the gendarmes are coming to arrest me by tomorrow if I haven't paid a bill. Yeah. So luckily there's a computer link on my phone where I can just type in, I guess, and figure out how I can settle this debt I have apparently before they come and get me and arrest me and take away my driver's privileges.
I got 2 this morning. Yeah. I literally was tomorrow morning. I was going to call the DMV and ask him about this.
Yeah. Well, I have some right here today that I got.
Because I had the problem in the past where they sent it to the wrong address. Yeah. So they could have arrested me if they'd pulled me over.
Yeah. If you don't complete this by May 28th, we'll take the following actions. Report to the DMV. Suspend your vehicle registration, suspend driving privileges, transfer to a toll booth, charge a service fee of 35%. You may be prosecuted. Your credit score will be affected. Pay now. Here's a number, you dirty right. And by the way, how come if we can do Elon Musk and we can go to freaking the moon and we're going to Mars and everything else, also, how come we don't have the technology where I can put a little thing on my phone so when somebody sends this to me, I can hit a little app button of some kind and it sends some poisonous gas into their ear when they answer their phone?
How about Star 94? You see exactly where it's coming from.
Yeah, and then go find them and beat the crap out of them. Give war a chance. Seriously. I mean, why can't we brutalize and eliminate these people? Why can't we go get them? Why can't we find out who does this and go get them?
Well,
Seriously.
You go on YouTube and there's guys that are hackers, and what they do is they hate them too. So they find them and they hack their videos over in India where they can see them, and then they start messing with them.
Yeah, that's what they need to be. Anybody who does this to try to get money off of people like me and you should be punished for it. And frankly, I make their lives miserable. The rest of them miserable. They can never use a computer again.
Well, he finds out who they are, and he starts telling them their side. Oh, well, you called me. Here's where you live. Here's some of your credit card number, and it freaks them out.
But they should be more than that. Show up at their freaking house, cut off their fingers. How about that? How about use your computer with your freaking elbow? There's an idea. Put a little stick on your wrist where all you got left is like stubs. Use your tongue. Georgia State Department of Motor Vehicles, my ass. Yeah, authorization code 16C 16-303. It's official now. How come we can't send a shard of lightning bolt into their freaking eyeballs when they answer their phone? Seriously.
Plus 63-939-228-4238. I mean, it's not even a real number.
No, I got it right here.
In fact, that's an international code, isn't it?
Yeah, the number starts with
China,
with a plus.
India?
Yeah, plus 63-967-947.
Because that's like a number you see if you're in London, you're trying to call back over here. Yeah. It gives you an international code.
Yeah.
China!
Yeah. China. Unbelievable. I mean, seriously, it just,
fresh them.
And I'll tell you, when I heard that Glenn Beck doing that stuff, and the guys were saying AI will be bigger than this.
Within 5 years. Look what it's doing now.
Within the discovery of electricity will be less valuable to the world than AI.
I disagree. Electricity is the number one thing. It changed everything. But this is going to change more than people understand.
If AI runs humanity, that'd be a little bigger than electricity if all of a sudden we're house cats.
You won't be able to believe anything you see in the movies, anything you see on television, anything in court. How are they going to have video evidence in court now? Or voice.
Right. Tape recordings, eavesdropping.
Are we going to go back to you have to have two, like the Bible, you have to have two witnesses and they have to stand there and say it?
I don't know. I mean, I'm seriously. And again, Elon Musk said, I don't want to be someone's house cat. He's afraid about the power of AI.
That's why he's going to Mars.
Take it over. And again, Glenn Beck typed in one line and then said, make a movie, and they did.
How long was the movie?
I don't know. But it was, he did it in like 7 seconds. He did a whole movie, scripts, people, actual human beings, supposedly. Acting.
I'm trying to keep up with it, but it's every day it's something amazing.
Well, they say in 12 months, everything goes in 12 months things, and who knows what's going on.
Ball Scott says 63 is the Philippines.
Aha. I tried to buy a Philippine wife one time.
And he heard, and he just heard what we were saying. He goes, you guys want a female intern?
Yes, we do. Well, I think it was called the Orange Blossom Catalog or something like that, or Cherry Blossom Catalog.
Okay, stop talking.
Well, I was looking. I wanted a girl in my life. I still wanted it, and not now. I mean, it's just, a game called On Account of Darkness.
Thunder.
Was that what it was? Yeah, it's getting ugly out there. So be careful. Just be careful. Let's see. What do you want? You want to play that stupid Mayor Chicago?
Oh, we didn't play a game.
Oh, God, let's do our game. 510. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. 404-741-1230. And Flounder has our actual gaming material. Johnny Olsen, bring down our next contestant, sir. Hey, ho.
All right. These are some ancient English words that deserve to come back, and you tell me what they mean.
I like it.
Apricity.
Apricity?
And I'll use it in a sentence. Let's sit by the window and enjoy the apricity.
Calmness, serenity.
The warmth of the sun in winter.
Oh, well, that's a different thing. I wonder where that came. The root of that is.
It is
from the sun
Latin.
In winter.
It's Latin, so it comes from Latin, whatever that means. Cuomo Dokunkizi.
No, that's silly.
He's always trying to Cuomo Dokunkizi with side gigs.
I don't think that's coming back. I don't. But that's
17th century English. Is to make money by any means possible.
The
keyword is Cuomo.
Well,
Snollygoster.
Oh, now it's a great word. He's a dirty, rotten snollygoster, if you ask me.
That snollygoster would sell his values for a vote. Corrupt politician.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, scripturient. Latin.
Scripturient?
She grew scripturient after her travels.
Well, maybe that she wanted to write them down. And
having a strong urge to write. Yeah. Very good there. Grufelling. It's Old Scott. Grufelling. The cat was grufelling all afternoon.
Wow. Sleeping?
Lying close to the fire for warmth.
I'll be darned.
Klinomania. It's Greek. Winter mornings fuel my klinomania.
Fear of being cold.
Excessive desire to stay in bed. Okay. Brabble. They brabbled over which film to watch.
Arguing.
Middle English. Twatling.
Well, I can't. You said in a sentence.
18th century English. Enough twattling. Let's get to work.
Yeah, enough fooling around, goofing around.
Idle gossip or chapter. Fudgel. 18th century English. He's a master of the fudgel.
Well, now that's a whole other issue.
Pretending to work while actually doing nothing. And finally, you have this.
Yes.
Lethologica. It's Greek.
That's where you don't know where you are at any time.
I've got a case of lethologica. What's his name again?
Yeah, guy. Names aren't coming up.
Yeah. You have that. Just tell people that.
Yeah,
just when it's lethologica.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's not a thing.
What, fudgel?
Yeah, fudgel.
Fudgel. Fudgel. I'm a master of fudgel. Well, master of fudge. You take the L off.
My own fate to do as well. Anyway, 5:13. Kimber P. Oh my goodness. 5:13. Holy cow. Well, that was an interesting little thing there. Holy crap! At sports is coming up, and we got even more stuff right up till 6 o'clock probably. Kimber P. and Cloud. Here, look out. Here we go.
Kimmer Show is live until 6 p.m. and Extra 106.3 has the rest of your night covered with Jesse Kelly up next. Fox Across America with Jimmy Fela at 9 p.m. and The Guy Benson Show at midnight. All live on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Life is unpredictable, but when trouble comes, you need a team you can trust. At Ace Second Chance Bail Bonds, we've been helping families for nearly 20 years, providing fast, professional, and discreet service. With 12 locations across Metro Atlanta and Birmingham, we're available 24/7 to get your loved one home, quick and with care. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call 404-BAIL-OUT. That's 404-BAIL-OUT or visit atlbail.com today.
The warm air, the beautiful weather, and the sounds of baseball. It's got you thinking about hitting the road. And no matter where your adventures take you, Subaru of Gwinnett has a vehicle to get you there safely and in style. Like the 2025 Subaru Outback, which will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive plus up to 32 miles per gallon. And if you're up for adventure, it'll get you off the beaten path with up to 9.5 inches of ground clearance. More than the Honda CR-V or Toyota RAV4 or the 2025 Subaru Forester, the SUV for all you love. It's the right-sized SUV for all the adventures ahead with a spacious and comfortable interior for everyone you want to bring along. And no matter where adventure takes you, it starts on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth with the amazing staff at Subaru of Gwinnett. They'll help you find the Subaru that you'll love and be there every step of the way for everything you need. Start your shopping online at SubaruofGwinnett.com.
Why shop at D. Geller & Son Jewelers? Well, right now, the economy is showing you why. This is Jonathan Geller, and across 3 generations, we've been proud to do all the things that keep our prices great, no matter what's going on in the world. Like carrying engagement rings from American-made designers who do all their work here in the U.S. and even alloy their own metals. No importing. So your dream engagement ring isn't just well-made, it's a great value. We maintain Atlanta's best selection of diamonds in all shapes and sizes, so you can find what you need today at prices those big box importers can't get. If you have a D. Geller diamond in your ring, now's a great time to upgrade. Our master jewelers do all repairs in-house right here in Atlanta. Most other jewelers are shipping your jewelry to some central shop or even a warehouse overseas. At D. Geller & Son, our jewelers are using our gold and gemstone supply to take the best care of your jewelry at the best prices. There's a lot of reasons to shop at D. Geller & Son, but since 1939, it's all come down to quality and value at D. Geller & Son in Kennesaw, Sandy Springs, and online at dgeller.com.
Attention Warriors, are you a veteran ready to navigate to success after service? Tune in to the Warrior Alliance Network. Join us as we spotlight inspiring stories, provide essential resources, and connect you with a community dedicated to empowering veterans. From career advice to health and wellness tips, the Warrior Alliance Network is your go-to hub for post-service success. Tune in Saturday mornings at 11 a.m. on Extra 106.3. Join us on the mission, the Warrior Alliance Network, where warriors thrive together. Visit us at thewarrioralliance.org for more information.
By the way, on this day, In 1962, a dump fire in Centralia, Pennsylvania started a blaze in an underground coal deposit. 1962. It's still burning.
They abandoned the town.
It's still burning. Holy crap, it's sports with Pete Davis.
Your bag's moving. Is there a cat in there or something you're not telling me about?
Well, I got a groundhog in there somewhere.
All righty then.
Yes,
Braves try to right the ship against the Phillies tonight in Philly. Just a team with the best record in baseball now.
Sure, no problem.
Acuna is leading off. Riley back batting second. Murphy catching and hitting sixth. The 0-2 Spencer Strider on the bump against the 3-0 Ranger Suarez. Bravo's in third place, 8.5 games behind the first place Phils in the NL East. And as I warned, just because Strider and Ronald Acuna Jr. are now back doesn't mean they're going to just start winning automatically.
That's right.
They went 1-2 with Acuna playing his heart out, including this nugget of joy on the first pitch he saw Friday night after a year-long layoff.
And the first pitch to Acuna, he swings, he drives one, pushing way back. Is this real life? It's a home run by Acuna. 1-0 Braves. Holy smokes.
Ben Ingram on 680 to the Fan.
I remember texting you and Flounder.
Yeah, holy cow.
You gotta be
blanking me.
Pitch. Yeah, gotta be something me.
And then later in the game, he did this.
The 2-1. Line shot into right field and a hit down the right field line. That's going to roll into the corner and all the way to the wall. Diaz heading for second. Here's the throw out of right field. Close play. Diving tag by Allen. In time for the out. Wow, what a play.
Yeah,
it was a rocket, man.
It was. That's the arm. I was watching last night. I was playing trivia, and they had PTI on, and I was just reading the captions underneath, and they were just going on. First of all, the Braves should always wear those uniforms.
Yeah,
those are the best uniforms ever. Even the '70s when they sucked, those were great uniforms. And Kornheiser and Wilbon just couldn't say enough about how it changes the game of baseball. There's three guys. There's Shohei. There's Aaron Judge, and there's Acuna. When all three are playing at the same time, Mookie Betts, you can put him in there too. The game is better when those guys are out there. When Mike Trout is out, when all of them are out there, the game's better. Freddie's close, but Freddie's not as
He's
active.
not up in that. I agree.
As a hitter, but
And by the now, you're going to mention another throw by Acuna, the one where I tried to get the guy at home, and if it had been a second, I mean, the throw was exactly the same. It was another rocket.
And this one I'm sitting there thinking,
and right on target too.
And you have to be kind of my generation up to remember this. We are right now witnessing our own Roberto Clemente in right field.
Yeah.
That's who I compare him to with that arm. And that bat.
I mean, you have to, absolutely. It's too bad people don't know. I mean, if you're under 40, you have no idea what we're talking about.
You got to go back and watch it. Unfortunately, the rest of the team outside of Chris Sale were more spectators the other night than players. Bats going silent once again. Don't know what's going on. The Braves are back to 2 games under 500 after fighting their way back so long. If they're still below water at the end of June, there has to be some real changes. Something's got to give. This team is too good for them to be under 500 and going into July. Can't happen. They've started slow before. There's hope and time on their side, but the Phillies and Mets, they're not going away. If anyone does, it's the Mets, but it ain't the Phillies. There are 8 other good teams in the NL Central and West divisions. There's 4 out of 5 teams in both those divisions that are either above or right at 500. Close to it. That's 10 teams fighting for only 6 playoff spots in the National League.
Wow.
So this lollygagging slow start crap has got to stop.
Well.
Former Braves shortstop Orlando Arcia signed with the Rockies, the poor man.
Oh, God. Well, yeah.
Why didn't he just go to Korea?
Yeah.
Japan. Pete Thamel of ESPN reporting, the major theme lingering over the SEC's annual meetings is an air of uncertainty hanging over the future of the sport. With the fate of the House case, House of Representatives, the college football playoff format, and the league's football schedule in flux, there's a lot of complex issues. Georgia football coach Kirby Smart made it clear today, there's one issue paramount importance to SEC coaches. What do you think that is?
NIL?
The transfer portal, which is part of it.
Yeah.
Part of it. Kirby says, so the biggest decision that has to be made across football right now, to me, by far, is when is the portal window open and is there 1 or 2? Right now, there's 2 NCAA transfer portal windows, one in December at the end of the regular season, December 9th through the 28th, and one post-spring, April 16th to the 25th. The one in December has got to go. You cannot do that because it's the bowl games are just getting killed.
Yeah. Plus, how many times are they allowed to do this anyway?
Twice.
They
can do it as many times as they want.
Well, see, that's another thing. It would seem to me that if I'm a university and I'm giving a guy an opportunity to go to college for free and make millions of dollars as a student, you would think that he'd have to sign a freaking commitment to stay me for at least a certain amount of time
2
to make it freaking worth it.
I think they should do it to 2 years.
How could you allow somebody, what they can do this every freaking year to go to the highest bidder? That's not college sports.
Well, they say we're men and we're over 18 and you treat us like men. Well, okay, we'll treat you like men. Sign the damn contract and stick to it.
Yeah, you're killing me here with this stuff. Jeez.
There's a report that Auburn basketball coach Bruce Pearl's name is being bandied about as a possible replacement for Senator Tommy Tuberville when Tommy runs for governor of Alabama.
Bruce Pearl as the United States Senator?
Tommy Tuberville was a former football coach.
Yeah.
Why is it always Auburn? Does Alabama have nobody worthy of being a senator?
Why would he want to give up the senator? We can't lose another Republican senator, you idiot.
Well, unlike Georgia, Alabama probably won't elect a Democrat senator.
Well, who knows? I mean...
No, they don't have an Atlanta. They don't have the cancer that is Atlanta. They have Birmingham.
Our whole surrounding suburbs, Cobb County, Gwinnett County.
Which is all gone Democrat.
Yeah, it's all Democrat.
It's all insane.
It's all red.
And it begins anew. The Kirk Cousins saga is back.
Oh, no.
The Falcons began their voluntary offseason team activities today. Head coach Raheem Morris said, I did not spot Cousins. Well, if anyone should see him, it's probably the head coach.
Oh.
He probably wants to change the scenery. I did not see him today, Morris says. I did not go out to practice, but he didn't show up in the meeting, so I did not see him today.
He's still on the team, right?
Yeah. But he decided not to show up, so it's begun. There may be light at the end of the tunnel, though. The Steelers are reportedly looking at Cousins in case Aaron Rodgers never shows up in Pittsburgh. How can you still hear it going into June?
I know.
And Aaron Rodgers still hasn't made up his mind. Get rid of that guy.
You got to be part of it.
They're idiots to sign that guy. I'd rather have at this point Kirk Cousins than Aaron Rodgers.
I don't know what to think.
All right, then. The Falcons hope an injured player can come back this summer. They're going to be without outside linebacker Braylon Trice as organized team activities began today. He's still recovering from the torn ACL he got last year in the first preseason game against the Dolphins. They were counting on him, too. So we'll see if he can come back this year. The weenie race. Who won the weenie race? I wasn't paying attention.
I don't know.
At the Indy 500 on Saturday.
I don't know.
Slaw Dog from the Southeast, Chai Dog from the Midwest, New York Dog in the East, Chili Dog representing the South, Seattle Dog in the Northwest, and Sonoran Dog in the Southwest.
They weren't going very fast.
60.
I know that.
They were going 60.
Were they going 60?
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty good. It didn't look like they were going that fast.
No. Mary Lou Retton is not going gently into that good night, is she?
I saw this poor thing.
Gymnastics icon Mary Lou faces a misdemeanor charge of driving under the influence following her arrest in a West Virginia hometown. Fairmont police stopped Retton May 17th following a report about a person in a Porsche driving erratically. See, when you're driving erratically, it's a Porsche.
Extended Carmen Gia.
It's a Porsche when you're sober. She smelled of alcohol, was slurring her words. She failed a field sobriety test. Officers reported observing a container of wine in the passenger seat. 57-year-old Retton refused a roadside breath test and a blood test. She was 16 when she became the first American female gymnast to win the all-around at the 84 LA Olympics. I was there. Yeah. She also won 2 silver and 2 bronze medals to help bring gymnastics into the mainstream here in the U.S. Mm-hmm. She was believed to be sober during that time.
Yeah, apparently.
2 years ago, she barely survived a bout with that rare form of pneumonia. And people raised a lot of money, and then there was this talk about what was the money spent for it. Probably a Porsche.
Well, maybe.
Were you going to say something? You're looking funny.
No, I was just waiting for you. I have a little more information about her. One thing I remember about her, she was a perky little gymnast, little thing. But they used to make a big deal about the fact that she wore a size 4 shoe.
Small?
Which was small. That's teeny. And she was married to Shannon Kelly, a former University of Texas quarterback, real estate developer. And they have 4 daughters. And they were divorced after 27 years of marriage. Mary Lou Retton divorced has 4 daughters and survived that apparent medical scare, but still got a DUI arrest.
Everyone who wants to play in the French Open, step forward.
All right.
Not so fast, Coco Gauff.
Oh.
Coco caused a brief and amusing delay at Roland Garros when she stepped onto the court without something very important.
Her racket?
Her rackets.
Oh, my God.
She looked confused, and the ball boy ran out a few minutes later carrying her pack of rackets. And she blamed her coach, saying the coach superstitiously packed it for her. Couldn't you tell there's no rackets in that thing?
There's nothing in the bag.
Despite the mix-up, the number 2 seeded Gauff went on to defeat Australia's Olivia Gadecki 6-2, 6-2 in her opening match. Gadecki also finding humor in the incident. Now that I think about it, it seems like I can't do an Australian accent. Can you do an Australian accent?
Well, it's all like this, Mighty.
Shrimp on the barbie.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, it seems like that was the only way I was going to win the match. I have no idea what accent that was. The WNBA began the season by launching a No Space for Hate initiative, claiming it would have zero tolerance for concepts like racism and bigotry. But of course, that only goes one way.
No.
Last week, Dream Center Brittany Griner was shown on the broadcast uttering profanities after her 6th foul against the Fever. As the clip trended, most observers read her lips saying "trash effing white girl" in the direction of either Caitlin Clark or the white ref.
Yeah.
But of course, race-hustling pumpkin heads like Jamil Hill immediately began the propaganda, saying Griner only said effing whack call. But if you look at it, the word call is nothing like the word girl when you're mouthing it.
Out of control.
Isn't there a pumpkin patch, Jamil, you're supposed to be haunting right now or something? That woman looks like a pumpkin.
It's horrible.
Griner's comments came days after Angel Reese shared a clip on TikTok mocking Clark as a scared little white girl running from the fade.
And I believe Caitlin Clark turned around to her one time on the court and said, "I'm not scared of you. I'm not afraid of you."
Imagine if Caitlin Clark said that about black women.
Yeah.
It's a black girl, little black girl running from us, white girls. As you can imagine, the WNBA has not commented on this situation right now. By the way, where did the Dream play?
I have no idea. Is anybody even watching them now?
Atlanta. In a related story, Atlanta has a WNBA team.
Yeah.
And you know who's on that team?
Who knew? Brittany Griner.
Oh, that's right too. Yeah,
the male in.
That's what I.
Yeah, he's the star of the team
that we got from Russia. We traded a spy that killed people, an arms dealer, right?
And a liberal America hating.
And did we leave a Marine over there or something?
Yeah. Oh yeah, sure. Why not? Well, it's only a Marine. Nobody cares about veterans.
By the way, Caitlin Clark's injured. She's going to miss at least 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And the next game, Angel Reese was saying, people coming to watch us. The next game?
No
one
to
wanted
watch
to go.
her.
No one cared.
Coming to watch Caitlin Clark.
Today in sports history, May 27, 1993, and it hurts me to say this.
Yes.
Rockies outfielder Dale Murphy announces his retirement from baseball. 2-time NL MVP, did it twice in a row. Retired with 398 career home runs, just 2 shy, 1,266 RBI. Murphy spent 15 seasons with Atlanta. He was traded to the Phillies in 1990. Who the hell was he traded? He was traded for a pitcher, Jeff Parrott.
Parrott, I think it was the name
Jeff
of the pitcher.
Parrott and some other dude, I don't remember his outfielder or something like that.
I still can't get over that.
It's just not right. If he'd stayed here, maybe he'd
Hank Aaron left,
he went to he wanted to go back to Milwaukee and finish there as a DH.
That's a little
in Milwaukee, because Milwaukee Brewers were American League at the time. And that's where he came in, Milwaukee.
That makes kind of sense, but I hated Dale Murphy.
I noticed he didn't stay there very much longer, though, after he quit baseball. He kind of moved back to Atlanta. 1960, Orioles catcher Clint Courtney uses an oversized mitt in an effort to better handle Hoyt Wilhelm's knuckleball. Hall of Famer Hoyt Wilhelm. How oversized was the mitt?
Well, I don't know.
The mitt was 50% larger than a standard catcher's mitt. Okay, a standard catcher's mitt's like this. It had to be about this, like a pillow.
Like a large pizza.
Which I think the great Paul Owens, who was Braves and the Orioles up in the front office, was it Paul Richards? Maybe Paul Richards was his name, and he's the one that kind of designed it and gave it to Courtney. The Orioles beat the Yankees 3-2. However, the league will later ban the use of the pillow to catch the devil. Of course, Bob Uecker's plan of catching the Phil Negro's knuckleball.
Yeah, just wait till it stops and go get it.
Which just stops rolling and pick it up. By the way, the standard mitt that he used that day, the oversized one, was later bought by Rosie O'Donnell and used as her oven mitt.
Oh, my God. Well, you got to do something for your biscuits and butter. 5:31. Can we have so much more? Another couple sports things coming up, too. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, and your stuff here.
Espera, hay más.
Oh. I'm the Gali at the Wheaties and Trace Partes. I didn't know we were doing languages. That's fine, though. It's fine. Look out.
America drives the world economy. And with ongoing global trade deals, tariffs doing their job, and inflation dropping, we force the world to step up. So don't let the mainstream media spin it to you any differently. Get the news that matters to you from Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
If you're thinking about a new Cadillac, don't wait. Now's the time. Head to Jim Ellis Cadillac where the price is right now. Lock in your lowest price today before prices start to rise due to new tariffs.
Right now, Jim Ellis Cadillac has more than 170 vehicles in stock, on the ground and ready to take home today.
From the iconic Escalade and the sophisticated XT5 to the innovative electric Lyric and the high-performance CT5, Jim Ellis Cadillac offers the models you know and love, along with the latest in luxury EVs.
And if you're shopping pre-owned, you'll find a great selection of certified vehicles too, thoroughly inspected and ready to roll.
But don't wait too long. Get yours today before prices go up and vehicle selection goes down. No pressure, no games, just a transparent, customer-first experience that makes buying easy. And after the sale, Jim Ellis Cadillac is still with you thanks to factory-trained technicians who will keep your Cadillac running strong.
Luxury is waiting, but with prices set to change, now's the time to buy. Visit Jim Ellis Cadillac, conveniently located on Peachtree Boulevard, just inside the perimeter.
Jim Ellis Cadillac, where you can always expect the best.
If you love news and talk, you have to connect with the biggest personalities in the South at thepodcastpark.com. It's more original Atlanta content from Atlanta's hometown talk crew. From legal news to sports and politics, and even archives of interviews from years past. Find the podcast that you love and subscribe everywhere you get podcasts.
It's Front Office Lows for Traeger and Howard Brothers. Howard Brothers has everything for your yard, but they also love cooking on Traeger grills. You can get all of your Traeger needs at the Howard Brothers stores in Duluth, Lula, and Oakwood. What are you cooking tonight? Is it going to be grilled chicken, maybe some baby back ribs, pulled pork, burgers? Whatever you're grilling, get to Howard Brothers and get all you need for superior flavor and perfect meals every single time. It's time for you to get a Traeger wood pellet grill. Don't go to the big box. Go see the grill experts at Howard Brothers.
Promises made, promises kept. The president is making the economy great again. He's securing the border for America's safety, and the mainstream media still wants to tear him down.
The media wants Donald Trump to fail. That's their goal. That's how they'll report his progress.
But we know the truth, and we give you the perspective that other stations won't. Atlanta's only conservative voice is Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Our Daily Dylan.
Our Daily Dylan. I knew you'd get a kick out of this one when I saw the music list today by our musical director, Flounder. Here we go.
One time ago, a crazy dream came to me. I dreamt I was walking the world.
Slow down, God. Got to talk.
Went to the doctor the very next day to see what kind of words he could say. Said it was a bad dream.
All right, I'm sorry, I'm talking over here. 1963, the breakthrough album, The Freewheelin' Bob Dylan, released on this day. And a journalist wrote, of all the precipitously emergent singers of folk songs in the renaissance of that self-assertive tradition, none has equaled Bob Dylan in singularity of impact. Idiosyncratic performances of a vast repertoire of traditional folk songs. Woody Guthrie's songs brought Bob Dylan to New York. The first place song to Woody. Let's see. The Freewheelin' Bob Dylan included only 2 non-original numbers, and the speed with which he did his own songs on the album were added to the repertoires of other musicians is what turned Bob Dylan into a household name, it says here. Peter, Paul, and Mary turned the opening track into an international pop hit, Blowin' in the Wind. Dylan fans got exposed to other talents, Johnny Cash, Sam Cooke, the Byrds. Blowing in the Wind, Don't Think Twice, It's All Right. I just had Flounder put that on my music stick. I love that. Hard Rain's Gonna Fall. By writing nearly all his own material and writing it from a distinctly personal point of view, Bob Dylan created a template that would alter the course of many careers other than his. John Lennon said, discussing the freewheeling Bob Dylan, reached the Beatles in their Paris hotel a year after its release. And John Lennon said, I think it was the first time I ever heard Dylan at all, and for the rest of our 3 weeks in Paris, we didn't stop playing it. That was Bob Dylan's album.
And he just broke it. Dylan doesn't do a lot of live stuff with other people anymore, like duets and stuff.
Right.
And he showed some. I never heard of this guy, Billy Strings.
Billy Strings. He's kind of the hot act right now.
Bluegrass.
Bluegrass. He's unbelievable.
And he showed up and sang with Billy Strings, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's passing the torch."
I'll be damned. Again, he was singing with Judy Collins. It was either Joan Baez or Judy Collins when I saw him at the Boys Club in Massachusetts in 1963. Came out barefoot wearing farmer's overalls. Bob Dylan said it was.
You got to see that movie. You'd like that movie.
Yeah, I think I would. Our birthday list includes Bruce White's. You may, if you ever watched Hill Street Blues.
Animal.
Bruce. No, he called dirt hairballs.
Hairball.
Everybody was a hairball. Bruce White's the actor. He's 82 years old.
Undercover guy, yeah.
Played Mick. Yeah, the undercover. Everybody's a hairball. Anyway, a couple of quick things. I think I knew this and I'd forgotten about it. I think this is sweet. 1995, Lisa Kudrow, famous for the Friends show. Lisa Kudrow, 1995, 30 years ago, married a guy named Michael Stern. Lisa Kudrow was a virgin until her wedding day. Lisa Kudrow said she waited 31 years to have sex because virginity is a special gift a woman gives her husband.
Wow. Phoebe was not that way on the show.
No.
Or her twin.
A long
We got
shot.
breaking news.
Breaking.
President Donald Trump. Were you going to play?
We can do that. That's all right. It's all good.
Has pardoned, and they were local, reality TV stars Todd and Julie Chrisley after a lobbying campaign from their daughter, Savannah. Their daughter's hot. I watched the first year of that show. Chrisley Knows Best. Do you ever watch that?
I've seen a couple episodes.
Did they have a lot of kids? What was I
They had
forgot
2
what they-
kids.
They have 2 kids. It's an odd
What was the theme? I forgot what the theme was.
That he was
commercial real estate, or he made a bunch of money here in Atlanta, and
they stole $30 million from banks in Florida and Kentucky.
Was it just their family life?
Yeah, it was family life, but they were funny and they were Southern, and he sounded like Liberace because there was like
you almost didn't know if he was kind of a closet case or not.
Yeah, but he was funny, and he was trying to be stern with them and raise them, even though they were rich and spoiled kids. Yeah. And he was trying, to bring them up right.
Yeah.
But then again, he turned around and buy him a car. So it was silly. And it turns out they defrauded 2 banks for like $30 million.
So, to say why he pardoned him?
Because Savannah's become a very big Republican and showing up at all the stuff, White House Correspondents' Dinner, Conservative Action Conference.
There you are.
And she kept lobbying, and she got a call today that they have been pardoned. And they didn't murder anybody, but they did steal money. But they've been in there a few years.
Yeah, they've been in there for he was supposed to be in there for 18 to 20 years, I think, something like that. Like, he had a pretty harsh sentence.
It's again. Every time I hear a sentence for financial crime, getting 30 or 40 years, I think, man, what happened to people who commit murder or child abuse and rape and stuff like that? We set him on fire.
Did he go to regular prison or did he go?
It was
big
probably
boy prison?
a minimal. Security.
If you have to go home every night in a locked cell, you can call it what you want, but it's still not exactly doing what you want.
Hard day of playing tennis all day. Yeah.
Well, again, I don't have any idea. I've only been to jail twice, and neither one of us.
In this country?
Well,
in this country.
In this country. I almost went to jail in another country.
I was detained.
Well, I was investigated.
Thank God I had 40 American dollars on me.
Yes.
That goes a long way. Back in 1985, it went a long way.
I swear to God, Judge, I thought she was a geisha girl.
Just helping the sheep over the fence, officer.
Oh, mercy. All right, 540.
That was Rhubard's joke. I was helping the sheep over the fence, and the midget was on fire when I got here.
No, that was Ludlow Porch.
Ludlow Porch. He took it from Ludlow.
No, well, Ludlow Porch. Ludlow's was slightly different. Ludlow Porch's they used to do famous punchlines, and Ludlow said his famous punchline. And he didn't, as I recall, he could not remember the joke, but the punchline was. The punchline was. Hold on a second. No, I got it.
It'll come.
Oh no!
Lethologica, right
it's
here.
Like that's not my car, officer, and the midget was on fire when I got here. Something like that. Anyway, Ludlow Porch. And once in a while, his son pipes up on my Facebook page and posts. In fact, the other day he posted some doodles from Ludlow Porch's live when Ludlow was on the radio and doing stuff for the radio. He would doodle. He would make little comments and write numbers and do stuff like a lot of us do or have done.
Tim Andrews does.
Yeah, and his son just posted a bunch of them, and I think he's giving them away or he's selling them. Yeah, of Ludlow Porch's doodles.
I bet there's squirrels.
I squirrels in the attic. How do you get squirrels out of the attic? I mean,
he would do host. Okay, I did one show about pickles. Ludlow had a career doing squirrels out of the attic.
Yeah, fun seekers. He did. He made a career out of getting squirrels out of the attic. That's what he was definitely known for. 541, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. 404-741-1230. 741-1230. Now, and by the way, Flounder just got a message from a lady who's somebody was listening, one of our Kimmer babes, listening, Flounder, about the Macron thing. And she called in to say that it looked like in the video, if you haven't seen the video, you should go look at it just for fun. It's short. It's of the Emmanuel Macron, the president of France, and his wife, as they're on the plane getting ready to do their trip to Vietnam, arriving in Vietnam. And the wife is seen shoving her husband with both hands in the face and the nose and covering his mouth and hit him in the jaw, basically. Macron turns his head away and then suddenly realizes the cameras are there, so he pretends to do a quick smile and wave and then disappears. Well, one of the ladies who was listening, do you remember her name, Flounder? We'll give her a little credit here. I don't remember her name.
She didn't give her name.
Okay, anyway, nice lady called, and she said in the video she saw, you can see one of the flight attendant girls coming in from the right-hand side of the picture, and it looks like her shoulder is bloody. As if when Macron's wife hit him in the face, it may have caused a bloody nose.
There's not blood anywhere on his face.
But again, it looked like it. But again, the whole issue now is all of a sudden Macron's wife, hit him in the face on the plane over something.
Reverse it if he'd done that to her. So is it okay for her to do it to him? No.
If there had been video of him pushing his wife in the face with both hands in her face,
a 79-year-old woman, and he's in his 50s. Yeah, she's 24 years younger, so he's 55, I guess.
Yeah. So I mean, this is, and by the way, oh no, see, that's the mayor thing. Hold on, I got a couple of things here about Macron. Speaking of the age thing, Brigitte Macron appeared to forcefully shove him when they got to Vietnam. Macron was 15 years old, the age of consent in France, in 1993 when he met Madame Brigitte, 39 years old, a high school teacher whose daughter was also in school with Macron at the age of 15. This woman was married, had 3 kids, but they all said, Macron, when he was 15 years old, he had the maturity of a 25-year-old. He'd rather talk to the teachers than other students. Brigitte's family, they had an affair. She basically groomed him. They got caught at a pool at the teacher's aging parents' house. Their relationship, he was a straight-A student. She was a drama teacher. It was an uproar. Locals sent anonymous letters to the headquarters of their company, the factory run by the Macron family and run by Brigitte's family, denouncing the affair. They spit on the doors of a place where they lived. Her friends were supposed to be planning vacations with her. They refused to even speak to her. And she was married to a banker and had her 3 kids with him. He was not happy about it. It was like a slap in the face, obviously. Their divorce dragged out for 10 freaking years. And she said, I believed he would fall in love with somebody his own age, and it never happened. 39, and he was 15. And now she's 79 or whatever it is.
There's a video right now of an airline, and a woman's trying to get her pet on the airline. I don't know if it's one of those, what do you call them? Companions.
Oh, yeah.
It's a kangaroo. And she's got a backpack on the kangaroo. It's holding its own backpack. It's literally holding its boarding pass. And they're arguing with her.
God.
I'm gonna retweet this and put it on camera. Look at the sad face of that poor kangaroo.
You can't get on this phone. Standing there holding his boarding pass. Oh my God.
It's so sad.
A comfort animal. What do they call it? Oh my God.
He's like, wait, you won't let me on the plane?
And they wouldn't let him on the plane?
Poor
thing. Can you leave a kangaroo? They can hurt people.
Oh, they can kill you. Well, that's what I told last week in Kimmer's Kuddly Kritter Korner.
Yeah. There's those feet and those legs, man. That's all muscle. Looks like a freaking horse. Anyway. All right, hold on. I got 5:46 already. All right, we got so much more, and we're working through it here right up till 6 o'clock. Look out. There we go.
Wherever you are in Georgia, you can stream Extra 106.3 and crystal clear digital with the all-new Extra 106.3 app. Get Extra's live on-air stream in real time, or go back and listen to all your favorite shows, Neil Bortz, or original podcasts, no matter where you go. Grab the Extra 106.3 app now and start streaming.
This is Tom with the Honest Car Guy.
Hey, what's with all this honesty stuff?
We help you buy your next pre-owned car or truck honestly.
How honestly?
We guarantee that each vehicle we sell will come with a bill of sale showing what we paid for the vehicle. You'll pay what we pay, plus an honest fee. Guaranteed.
No gimmicks or tricks?
Nope.
Man, this sounds like a new way to buy a car.
Get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME-1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
I love my wife, but like most couples, we had different sleeping needs. One of us likes it warm, and the other prefers to stay cool. I found the perfect fabric to keep us both comfortable. Viscose from Bamboo. I'm Tyler, founder of Cozy Earth. Cozy Earth offers the softest, most comfortable sheets, towels, PJs, joggers, and more. If you sleep in our sheets for 100 nights and don't absolutely love your experience, we will refund your money, no questions asked.
Go to CozyEarth.com and use code CozyComfort to save up to 40%. That's CozyEarth.com, code CozyComfort.
I'm Chad Pergram with the Speaker's Lobby. House Speaker Mike Johnson is publicly voicing his support for a ban on members trading individual stocks. Quote, I'm in favor of that because I don't think we should have any appearance of impropriety here, said House Speaker Mike Johnson. Johnson previously refrained from speaking out on the stock trading issue. It's drawn increasing public scorn since 2020. That's when a series of dubious trades made by members at the outset of the pandemic prompted a federal investigation. Despite repeated attempts from lawmakers in both chambers, legislation to address the perception that members are trading on inside information has repeatedly withered without sufficient support from leadership. Johnson's support is crucial for the cohort that wants to ban members from trading individual stocks. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries has also expressed his support for a congressional stock trading ban. And so has President Trump. Quote, we've had a surge of momentum on this issue, said Democratic Rhode Island Representative Seth Magaziner. He introduced one proposal that would require members, their spouses, and dependents to put certain assets in blind trusts. With the Speaker's Lobby, Chad Pergram, Fox News.
Monday through Saturday, we're right. But on Sunday, we turn left.
NASCAR, if the track is clear, they will let them finish. We are still green.
Well, here they come. Now, this is where it gets interesting. We've seen a lot of passes.
Brings them to the flag. Checkered flag waving. It's over. The taste of long-awaited victory will be his. Checkered flag.
Your home of NASCAR is Extra 106.3.
That'll be the day. When you say goodbye, yes, that'll be the day. And we know the history. If you don't know it, you're about to learn it. Buddy Holly and the Crickets. Hey. That'll be the day. Hey. 1957. Buddy Holly and the Crickets, That'll Be the Day, released, became British #1, U.S. #3 hit. The song had its genesis in a trip to the movies by Buddy Holly and Allison and Sonny Curtis in June 1956. The John Wayne film The Searchers was playing. The Searchers was on TV last night, by the way. The John Wayne film The Searchers, Wayne's frequently used world-weary catchphrase, "That'll be the day," was the inspiration behind the song. It was also the first song recorded by the Quarrymen, the skiffle group that subsequently became the Beatles. It says here. Let's see. Our birthday list includes Andre 3000 is 50, is the Outcast badass, it says here. Erykah Badu, or Erykah maybe? Erykah Badu is his baby mama. The Outcast jam Ms. Jackson's about their failed relationship. Todd Bridges, I think the only surviving Different Strokes actor. Also, Everybody Hates Chris actor. Todd Bridges is 60.
I'd have had the under on that one. I'd have lost that one.
Yeah, I he had a little trouble there many years. Thing. Also, Pete Davis, I forgot to mention. Hold on, I got it right here. If I could only, God, why can't I read my own stupid things now all of a sudden? I got the pizza. Oh, here it is. I just said, here we go. On this day in 2018, Danica Patrick ended her auto racing career at the track that made her famous. Danica Patrick, 7 years ago today, lost traction on a slippery surface and crashed out of the Indianapolis 500. 2018, a race won by Will Power. And, of course, their Indy 500 was over this past weekend. These cars are unbelievable now.
Beautiful cars.
Holy mackerel. I mean, shoo. And again, I when I was working for ABC and out of Chicago, and I went to the Indy 500 and got to go down to the pits and the thing, and if you're standing there, you can't see them. You literally can't see them. And the ground effects, the what do you call them? The not vents, the spoilers. All those spoilers and vents. Those are to keep them on the ground.
Yeah.
And one of the mechanics told me, this has been 40 years ago, told me, he said, if we took those off and we kept going what we're doing, you could literally drive upside down. The cars go so fast and the ground effects are so good that the ground effect, if you turn it into a loop-de-loop and just drive upside down, they would stick to the upside down track. That's how fast they are, and that's how good the ground effects are to hold them to the road.
Well, those wings, I've got a wing on the back of mine that comes up about 75.
Yeah.
And you can feel it. You feel the difference. It holds it down because it likes to take off.
Yeah.
That's only at 75.
Yeah.
These cats are going, what, 230?
They're going 240 now.
So literally, they would fly.
Yeah, they would fly.
If that thing wasn't
They would
up.
literally go off the ground. And you've seen when they have an accident and they go airborne, they're like paper airplanes. I mean, and again, by the way, I remember the first time in the pits at Indy, I saw a mechanic go over to an Indianapolis 500 race car and lean over the top and pick up the whole car in his hands and walk off with it.
Isn't that amazing?
They weigh about 9 pounds. The whole body weighs like 30 pounds, or used to. I mean, it's unbelievable. I said, whoa, my God. He literally walked over and, there we go, boom, and just takes it off.
I was reading the other day, I used to get the magazine every month from Porsche. I forget what they call it. But anyway, you get it. They have these great old photos and stories. Steve McQueen loved driving his Porsche. He came in second once in a thing in Florida and kept Porsche in the running that they later won that year, the championship, Le Mans and everything, because he kept them running. Because he was running something that was like 100-something horsepower. No, it was 300 horsepower, and he was running up against 500 horsepowers. And him and Peter Revson came in second because they didn't pit. They didn't change tires. And they beat out the more important ones and got, Ferry Porsche actually rode him himself. Guess what he named his car that came in second in that Florida race?
What he named his car? Steve McQueen.
Cloudy, you want to take a guess? What does Steve McQueen name his Porsche that came in second in that Florida race?
How
1970.
About the Sundance?
No.
Betty?
No.
Well, we're out of guesses.
Flounder.
Get out of town.
Oh, no, why did you name it Flounder?
Because the tail looked like a whale fluke,
no,
basically, on the back.
Yeah, that's cool. So, Flounder, you could say that you and Steve McQueen were racing buddies. So, an incredible story.
Or he rode you.
Hey, ho, hi-oh, hi-oh, hoo. Let's see. I got some leftover things here I wanted to do. I don't know if anybody did you have any interest in the American Music Awards? It was on last night. The only thing
no one showed up.
Two things about that's one thing about it. Two things. Beyonce was awarded favorite female country artist and her album favorite country album, making history as the first black woman to win a country music category. A mention of the Carter family as creators of country music sparked discussion and reactions from some artists whose facial expressions went freaking viral.
The black guy.
Yeah. Shabuzi's face when she had said the Carter family created country music is frying me. The producer didn't have to put that inaccurate statement in the teleprompter. It's revisionist history. The Carter family did not invent country music. White people will never stop trying to violently possess things they don't belong to. I mean, it just goes on and on and on.
Well, one of the black guys, when they were talking about how much that Beyonce had done for country music, he's there rolling his eyes like, she didn't do squat.
What's she done? And by the way, Billie Eilish, I heard Neil Bortz was on this morning on Tuesday mornings. Neil's on the morning cruise, 7:25, and he was saying, and they showed him the picture of Billie Eilish. He said, "Is that a girl?" Apparently, she's in her non-attractive phase again. Now, she used to be. She could dress up as kind of a cutie, but she's not. That's not her nature. And Billie Eilish won every one of the 7 categories she was in. Won all 7. And nobody. I mean, again, this is not exactly the Oscars.
I haven't heard any of her songs in a few years. I liked a couple of them when they first came out.
Yeah, I don't know anything about her other than she's strange and she won all 7 categories.
She can sing.
Yeah, so there you go. Let's see. And now something special. What?
It's time.
Oh, my God. Well, I'm going to put this away. Hold everything. Flounder?
That's what she said.
Hold on a second.
I will be the father.
Me. Oh, yeah, we didn't decide who was who. Sorry.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Me.
And now, another edition of Not the Kimmers, not ready for primetime rainy day short attention fan theater playhouse, where we, by golly, try to bring a teeny bit of happiness and sunshine into the otherwise miserable lives of you, the little people. Today's episode, I dare ya. And now, we bring you a touching tale of a father and a daughter bonding over the great American tradition and sport of baseball. We take you to a typical American household and a typical American den. A daddy and his teenage daughter are deciding what to watch on the telly.
You want to watch the baseball game with me?
No, I don't like baseball.
Well, I didn't like Little Mermaid either, but I watched it 1,387 times. Now get the lights.
And see. Golly, it's almost like a real thing. It's just bringing up the memories of raising a daughter with Pete Davis. It's an incredible testimonial to the lifestyle of American families and the modern. Oh, golly, just enjoying the fruits of their labors together with sports time activities. Another family get together. Oh, I wouldn't. Man, if I had to raise a 13-year-old girl these days. Seriously.
How would you keep social media away from them?
What, are you going to take away your phone?
Well, first of all, they wouldn't be in a public school. Guarantee you.
Yeah. No. On the other hand, you better find a private school. I can't imagine homeschooling. I cannot imagine homeschooling.
I could see a little bit of homeschooling.
Well, but I think they do need. I can't imagine, not being with extracurricular activities. And
no, you do. They have it set up now. You can. They play on sports with other teams, and they see them. It's not just they never see other kids. There's ways to do it now.
Yeah, and again, I think if you can do it, I think it's great. But first, Flounder's Funnies.
Women's social media. It's just a lot of beautiful underdogs. That's in a part of something very dramatic. The entire world's against them. Where they'll be like, when I began my journey. They're all on journeys, by the way. All around journeys. They're like, when I began my journey, no one believed in me. That's what these girls don't understand. It's not that no one believes in you. No one gives a about anything anyone is doing but themselves. No one's thinking about you. No one's going to bed at night being like, who's never going to open a small business? That bitch Jessica. Good night.
Mr. Neil Brennan.
Neil Brennan, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, mercy. Let's see. Oh, my goodness. We got like 20. Well, hell, tomorrow's hump day. We'll do this all over again. Braves tonight in Philadelphia. Yeah. And here we go. All right, boys, have a good one. Kimber, Pete, and Flounder, and Christine, sing me home, baby. I got to go. You're killing me. Here we go. Over here.
The cheese roll was yesterday.
Oh, the cheese roll down the hill. Oh, my God. We missed it. We missed the cheese roll.
The Kimmer Show is live on your ride home on WFOM and W292 EV Marietta on Dickey Broadcasting Station, Extra 106.3.